.5.
At .5.
We're at .43.
That's like he's gonna cry. A dog walking is beating him.
Let's run to the mine.
Yeah.
Run to the mine.
Yeah. Oh my God. Use the arms, Max. Pump it.
One more after this.
No. You gotta stick with the light posts. Hey, if you're watching this right now, go subscribe to the YouTube. We got to get to 500,000. Then we're going to release the Max 5K video. Please subscribe. If you're watching it, you're already here.
Look down.
Just look down and hit the subscribe. We're asking you, please. We don't really ask a lot. We ask a little. We ask you to listen to a Lighthouse podcast that was formerly a football podcast. But this one, listen, if we get to 500,000 subscribers, we also will stop talking about the Lighthouse.
That's a fact. Well, we will.
Unless you want it.
Me and Big Cat will stop. I can't make any promises for Hank. He's
Hank will do
obsessed
it,
with
yeah.
it.
Unless you want it. And then if you want it, we'll get to 525 and then we'll bring the Lighthouse back. But please do subscribe. We really appreciate everyone's support. Subscribe. On today's Pardon My Take, we have our good friend Andy Staples in studio talking college football. Great time with him. We talk about the whole landscape, everything that's going on. It's been an awesome season, and we're only 1 month into it. So we have Andy on in studio. We also have Andrew Beck, the fullback of the Houston Texans, who ran back a kick for a touchdown. Heaviest player to run back a kick for a touchdown in 50 years. One question with the fullback. New segment. We are going to talk Monday Night Football. We're going to do the Lighthouse finale for now. I want to leave that open, but Hank has brought a PowerPoint slide. We have Jimbos slides. We have Jimbos. We have hot seat chill throne, and it's all brought to you by ourselves at Pardon My Cheesesteak. Pardon My Cheesesteak has unleashed a menu that will have your mouth watering in no time. Hold on to your taste receptors because we're introducing the stars of the show, the Chicken Bacon Ranch Cheesesteak, the Irresistible Chicken Tenders, and the Monumental Big Cat Combo. Whether you're a cheesesteak aficionado, a finger food enthusiast, or simply someone who values the art of comfort cuisine, this menu has something for everyone. It is the football menu. Order now on pardonmycheesesteak.com, also available on Uber Eats. Also, just a heads up, we have been crafting Pardon My Cheesesteak. We've been perfecting it. I think we're doing a really good job now of delivering people delicious cheesesteaks and chicken fingers. It is perfect for a football Saturday or Sunday or Thursday or Monday, every day of the week. Order now on pardonmycheesesteak.com, also available on Uber Eats. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Wednesday, September 27th, and people are mad about Jalen Hurts and the Tush push.
They're mad about that Tush push. Very upset. They want it banned. The haters want it banned. Listen, as a Commanders fan, has to play the Eagles twice every year.
You got to get Tush pushed a lot.
I love the Tush push.
I do too.
I really do. I think if you don't like it, then stop it. Figure out a way to stop it. Until then, if you don't like it, you can either try to figure out how to make teams stop doing it to you or do it yourself. But turns out you don't have a quarterback that can squat a semi-truck.
Right.
So, and you don't have the best offensive line in football, so it's harder.
And by the way, Eagles dominated the Bucs. That was kind of a comeback to reality for the Bucs game that you saw. Like, hey, the Eagles, yeah, they are one of the best teams in the league. They went down, they took care of business. I completely agree with you, PFT. The Tush push does not bother me in the slightest. You know what a good way to not have the Tush push in your face? Don't let the Eagles get to the 1 yard line. You could stop them on the first two downs. Also, if you watch it, I really think that if they ban this play, I think the Eagles will still do it, and it will go from like 99% success to like 97%
Because
success.
what are you going to legislate into it? You're going to say you can't push your quarterback from behind. Okay, well, Jalen Hurts will still run a quarterback sneak and be awesome at it.
Yeah, right. Like they don't, even in that touchdown play, he wasn't pushed.
Yeah.
They push him for maybe a second effort, But again, 90% of the time, he's getting those yards himself. Get a Jalen Hurts, get an offensive line, or I actually think that defenses should start throwing players over the line.
Yeah,
like holding them by their legs and their arms, and just as the snap count goes, you just basically toss a player at Jalen Hurts.
We talked about doing that with Darren Sproles, like throwing your running back over the line of scrimmage. So that could work. I actually have a way that I think might work. Maybe I'm stupid.
I got a couple ways.
Maybe I'm an idiot. So the only way I can see the defense being able to really counter, it's kind of like in soccer when you have a penalty shot and the goalie has to like guess which side it's going to. You generally know what gap Jalen Hurts is trying to get to. Mm-hmm. It's usually just right over the guard on the left side, maybe in between the guard and the tackle. They're big boys. They can just submarine you and take you out. Have a normal defensive line, and then have like 3 linebackers stacked up in an eye. And then as the ball is hiked, all 3 of your guys, one right after the other, hits the same hole. Yeah. You guess the hole that he's going to go to. You got 3 guys going through the hole at the same time. I think that has as good a shot as any is working.
I like that. The other one, maybe a little more outside the box. You should just get your biggest guys, same philosophy, figure out which hole they're going to go to, and have them lay on top of each other. 4 defensive linemen laying on top of each other, and then have all the linebackers push that back into the Eagles.
Just push a mound of dudes.
Yeah, just push a stack of dudes back at the Eagles.
I've been saying they should do that in hockey.
Yeah.
With like 30 seconds left, get all your players laying on top of each other in the mouth of the goal. You can't score. There's probably a rule against that. There's not really, there are no real other good ways to counteract it.
It's Troy Polamalu or LeVar Arrington. Yeah, that's what you need.
Jump over the line of scrimmage and time the snap perfectly. Oh, maybe do the Belichick. Maybe have a gunner come in from the side, try to time it right, and then run directly at him. But yeah, people are talking about it being a rugby scrum. First of all, I'd like to clarify, it's not a scrum. It might look like a scrum. It's a maul. It's a rugby maul. That's when one guy gets the ball, everybody kind of binds onto him and pushes that guy through. It's a maul, and the Eagles apparently brought in a Scottish rugby player to try to figure out a way to stop it, like get one step ahead of it, see what offenses could do. Was it the Eagles that did that, Max? Some team did that to try to figure out how to stop the tush push.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was the Eagles.
Yeah, so some team brought in a Scottish guy, and he was like, you can't stop it. It's organized mass.
Right.
And as long as their mass is more organized, which they will be, because they know the snap count, they know the play, then there's no way to stop it for 0 yards. I think, you know what? It was the Eagles. Kelsey said that on his podcast with his little co-host.
Yeah. I really do think, though, this is just how the NFL works. There's innovation, then there's a counteraction to it. Like someone will try to be able to figure out how to stop it. The people who are like, this is bullshit, this isn't football. First of all, I think it is football. Getting 1 yard, man football is football. And I'm not too worried about it because you see, okay, the Eagles played on Monday Night Football. They're tush pushing all over the place. Do you know what the best offense right now in football is? It's a team that plays with everyone out wide in the Miami Dolphins. So there's 2 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
The way the NFL works is people find innovation. They find a play that works. They're gonna spam it till it doesn't work. And I don't think we should be changing rules against it.
I would love to see that matchup, though. The Dolphins against the Eagles. 2 distinct styles of offense.
It's coming?
It's coming. Soupy?
Coming.
You think it's soupy, Max?
I think it's in like 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Sunday, October 22nd, Sunday Night Football.
I can't wait to see that.
I wish the Eagles would just, it would be great if the Dolphins just played with no down linemen and the Eagles only tush pushed.
Yeah, they could do it. They could go the length of the field. Where it gets interesting, too, is on 3rd down for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because they know if it's 3rd and 6, they have to get 4 yards.
Right.
And then they'll run the tush push. So they can run the ball when it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5. Most teams are passing that situation. It makes everything different. And Max, like, I think it's a fun play to watch. I know you like it because it's man football, organized mass. It's just cool. It's a cool play. Let him do it.
It's also not new. When Tom Brady would do that play, it was like 100% success rate.
Yeah.
That was my point about Justin Herbert in the Brandon Staley 4th down call. Just do that play.
Yeah.
Like it will work for everyone. Maybe not Kyler Murray, but everyone. No, actually, Kyler Murray probably works. He's so small.
Maybe the defense gets like a really tiny guy that runs underneath people's legs.
Yeah.
And right into Jalen Hurts' knee.
So, Max, how are we feeling about the Eagles overall?
Yeah, I mean, that was a boring game. That was just a take care of business game. Red zone looked bad, but Hurts still doesn't look exactly like I want Hurts to look, but the run game is amazing. The defense is amazing. And Jalen Carter is an absolute beast. Jalen Carter is so good.
He's very good.
It's so fucked up that the Eagles got Jalen Carter. And on draft night,
Well,
it was the most. Yeah, it is.
people are starting to blame the Bears for that.
Oh, well,
I mean, I said that after week 1.
He would be.
I said that
he
week
would
1.
not be playing right now for the Bears. They're so dysfunctional.
It would be worse than what it is now.
Yeah, because he probably wouldn't be on the roster. He probably would have quit football. He'd been like, I'm not around here. I played at Georgia. This isn't a real football team.
It's just disgusting that the Eagles got their mitts on him. Everybody knew it was going to happen. And then when it happened, we're like, how did this happen? Oh, yeah, we knew. The plan was always for them to get Carter.
Yeah,
It's not fair.
It's the best.
I know people are doing the retroactive draft takes. I saw the one today that the Lions letting go, or did they trade DeAndre Swift? They let him go.
They traded him for like a 3rd or a 4th or something.
Right, and so people were basically saying, imagine Jalen Carter on this Lions defense. Like, that is what they need, someone like that. And yeah, the Eagles just have an embarrassment of riches. Do you, Max, want to say anything publicly about the fact that you were watching the game on stream and our coworker Stephen Chase said that he wants Jalen Hurts hurt, he wants to see him get hurt, and you didn't bitch slap him?
I'm going to start being on the, let's hurt Jalen Hurts trains.
Oh my.
Wow.
What? Scumbag.
Just for what? Just because it's just annoying to watch as a fan. This game is they're going to win this.
It's the rule.
They're going to win this game. I get it. But
You like football too much to wish
this is-
bad upon a player.
Go through it. Go through the whole process.
it just needs to be stopped. And if we got to take out one guy for the greater good,
Not very Philly-like of you.
I should have slapped him. It was absolutely disrespectful to say about my guys. I know what you're going to say.
What?
I'm just going to say it first.
What?
I'm going to do the 8 Mile. I know what I said about Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
in the-
yeah, you did
during
say
the
you
Super
wanted
Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes to tear his
That
ACL.
that was in the moment. I didn't want Patrick Mahomes to be hurt long term, but
You
I
said ACL.
didn't want him to play. That's not true. Not true. I didn't want him to play the second half of that game.
You just said that. You said, I hope he tears his ACL.
I never said that.
Yeah, I
You
think
just
you
said
did.
it.
Never said
just
that.
said it.
You
Never.
just said it
Wait.
5 seconds ago.
What?
You just
Am
said,
I going
did-
insane?
No, he said I did say I wanted Patrick Mahomes to tear his ACL.
I didn't say tear his ACL. I said I wanted him to get hurt.
You just
You
said
just
that.
said that.
I don't think I said tear his
It might have
ACL.
slipped, but
What
you
is-
said it.
What is going on
Did I
here?
say ACL? I don't think I said ACL.
I said
He didn't even
ACL.
hurt his ACL.
Oh, Big Cat said ACL.
I said ACL.
So did Max.
Oh, Max said
Mahomes
it too.
hurt his ankle.
But you
And
wanted him to tear his ACL.
Yeah, you wanted
per
him
you.
more hurt.
I don't think I ever said that.
Okay.
Well,
This is gaslighting. This is gaslighting.
Max, what about the play calling on that first drive? You think that was Nick Sirianni being like, everyone's talking about AJ Brown. He was yelling at people on the sidelines last week. Let's force feed the ball to AJ Brown.
I mean, he absolutely ate on the AJ Brown is a good player. You get the ball in the hands of the good player. I don't care what happened last week. People who are like, oh yeah, you're just trying to force AJ Brown. Yes, you have AJ Brown on your team. You want AJ Brown to have the ball.
much like 8 Mile, I'm just going to get ahead of it and say, congrats, Max, on beating the Commanders by at least 25
don't
points
do
this
this.
weekend. No, I mean, our offensive line can't block shit. I think Sam Howell's getting pressured 79% of the time on his dropbacks. With that defensive line, you guys, oh man, 30 points minimum,
Don't do that.
maybe 40. Congrats on the blowout.
All right, so other game, Joe Burrow's back. The
Kind
Bengals
of.
are back. Kind of. Didn't look great, but he did say afterwards, he's like, I know what was at risk for my injury, but I also know it was at risk to start 0-3, and that was something I couldn't let happen. So yeah, the Bengals, that was a big win for the Bengals because you need Joe Burrow to be healthy, but you also got to win games. 0-3 in that division would have been a tough uphill battle.
Yeah,
So,
it's a
and I
big
love
hole.
the all whites.
It's a big hole. All whites were great. Joe didn't look like himself though. He was all over the map, not accurate. He's thinking about it. Have you seen the side by side of his injured leg and his healthy leg?
Yeah.
His injured leg is like Kate Moss thin.
It's
It's
injured.
like a bone.
It's very injured. But he did say something after the game that I thought, he doesn't look like Joe Burrow yet. But he said that his defense was balling out. The Bengals defense looked like the old Bengals defense.
Yeah.
And that's the important part because he said part of the Bengals defense playing the way they are, I can take less risks. I can know that, I can throw the ball away and put the ball where it can't be, picked off. And you saw a lot of that last night where some of the balls are going out of bounds where he's like, I'm not going to risk this with our defense balling the way they are.
Yeah,
And they were.
Sam Hubbard played a hell of a
They
game.
were great. Yeah.
Jamar Chase looked good too.
Yeah.
Get the ball to Jamar Chase. Find Jamar Chase anywhere he is. Get him the ball downfield. The offense will look a lot better if you can do
He
that.
wanted the ball more. Maybe a diva?
Diva, yeah, Jamar on Diva watch for sure.
I think we just projected that to the point where now we're just seeing Maybe it's confirmation bias that we're seeing receivers like say, I want the ball more. A.J. Brown, another one.
Well, if you're a receiver, you probably always want the ball.
Again, diva is not a bad thing. We want more diva receivers. It makes the league fun. And if you're that good, you should be a little bit of a diva.
Yeah, and they brought Chad Johnson back, the ultimate diva receiver.
Yeah.
Brought him back for this game, fresh off ringing the bell at the Lighthouse
Never
last
happened.
weekend.
Oh, he's doing the tours?
He's making the tour, yeah.
He never rung the bell. You just made that up.
He said he was going to ring the bell. Sounds like you guys pulled the carpet out from under him.
No, it's legends only.
Legends only. Okay, well, that is a segue. PFT, you want to do a quick ad and then we'll get into the Lighthouse finale?
Yeah, before we talk about the Lighthouse,
Maybe
they should have paid
for now.
extra for this ad read because this is probably the most listened to segment of the year. It's brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. NFL season's going by so fast. That defensive line on the Eagles is so fast. You know what else is fast? Submitting a claim with Morgan & Morgan. It only takes 8 clicks or less right from your phone. And you want to know what else is fast? Watching Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon whip around the track. Morgan & Morgan has teamed up with Richard Childress Racing to support Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon, and now they are offering one Part of My Take listener the opportunity to attend race day in Las Vegas on October 15th. How about that? They're giving one lucky winner $2,000 and 2 tickets to see Kyle Busch race live in Las Vegas this October. Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people for over 35 years, and now they're even more for the people because they're sending you to Las Vegas. With over $15 billion recovered for over 300,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Entering to win is just as easy. Just go to morganvegas.com/PMT. All right, so if you want to go to Las Vegas, go to morganvegas.com/PMT to enter. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of the 48 contiguous United States and DC who are 18 and over. Sweepstakes ends 10/1/2023. That's October 1st. It's coming right up. For entry and official rules, visit morganvegas.sweep.com. And to enter, go to morganvegas.com/PMT.
Okay. Lighthouse finale for now. I don't want to ever put a cap on.
I mean,
the
it sounds like you've
Lighthouse.
been putting caps on it left and right.
It sounds
No,
like you're the one that's capping about the Lighthouse.
Wednesday.
No,
No,
we
hey,
saying this
no.
did that because
finale.
it was a Monday. We were doing all of our games.
Hey,
and we-
if there's one person who's capping about the Lighthouse, it's
it's
you.
you. So who would like to go first? I think you got to go first, Hank.
PFT,
Like-
do you have any? I mean, what is PFT?
I mean, I have truth on my side. I wield the mighty sword of justice and truth.
For anyone who's listening to the first episode of Pardon My Take, welcome to the premier Lighthouse podcast in America.
Well, we're truth seekers. Me personally.
Do you set the stage for the new Lighthouse, or should I set the stage?
I'll set the stage.
Okay.
The Patriots built the largest lighthouse in the
Asterisks.
continental U.S.
That's actually factually not
No,
true.
it's not true.
It was discussed, promoted.
What do you
and
mean
then
largest?
PFT commentator
It's not my name.
came out of the woodwork and in pure jealousy
You
and
didn't
rage,
even give the full story about why they
said
built the
that
Lighthouse.
the lighthouse. Well, they had a lighthouse there. Then they built a bigger jumbotron that covered the old lighthouse. So they had to build a bigger lighthouse and said, "Fuck it, let's make the biggest lighthouse in the continental U.S."
Asterisk.
No big deal.
Okay.
And then PFT has come out of the woodwork. He's contacting potentially fake military members to get facts disproving the fact that it's a real lighthouse.
His name is Commander Kroll, and he is a commander in the United States Coast Guard. And you know what? I'm sick of people forgetting about the Coast Guard. When you ask them, like, when you say thank you for your service, when you say, okay, what's your favorite branch of the military? People always talk about the Navy. They talk about the Air Force. They talk about the Army. No one ever mentions the United States Coast Guard. They're the real heroes, Hank. You ever seen an orange helicopter rescuing somebody from a sea?
Yeah,
That's the Coast Guard, my friend.
I love the Coast Guard. I grew up on the water.
Okay. So, Hank, without further ado, by the way, if you're watching on the YouTube, please subscribe because we're trying to get 500,000 and we want to do that so that we can release the max 5K tape.
Yep. All right, here we go. Lighthouse. Shout out to Ben Domek. I don't know how you say his last name.
Who's that?
So he's the person
he's
that
my
wrote the
on-field. He's my on-field reporter. I like we said last week. You talked about the mountains and the rivers, and I needed to find someone that could verify some of these facts for me on the ground.
Wait, so someone did the work for you?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
What? Does he
I'm
work
not
for
like Jake.
Barstool?
I'm not. No, he doesn't work for Barstool. I'm not like.
Where does he work?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
What's his area of expertise?
Who is he?
He just helped me. He helped me. I had to get assistance. I told you I couldn't go to New England and verify these facts, so I had to have someone help.
Where'd you meet him?
I'm not like Jake. I actually give people credit for the reports they help me on.
Where'd you meet this guy?
Can we just get into the report? Let's start.
Wait, is this
slide
the
one.
editor at large at the Spectator?
No, it's a different spelling.
Oh.
Is
Okay.
it just an AWO, like slitting your DMs and helped you?
No, don't worry
Is
about
this
it.
guy who has
Don't-
200,000
don't-
followers? I think
do not worry about
I
it.
think he's Megan
That's
McCain's,
Meghan McCain's husband.
Did you get Megan McCain's husband to come in?
Are you getting
don't
facts
worry
from
about
Megan
it.
McCain?
No, it's a different spelling.
Yeah.
when you Google
Oh,
the name.
okay.
Oh, Dominic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was going to say, you brought in a political operative to take us down?
Stick to sports, Hank.
You guys should
Okay.
stick to sports. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
no, I read
verify.
the name wrong. So, all right. You know what? Flag. But the contest hasn't started, so that actually doesn't count.
There's
All
no
right.
contest.
First, we'll go into the history. The earliest known lighthouses was built
No.
in Egypt over 2,000 years ago.
That Brad Pitt
Is not from
Archaeologists
Gladiator is
found the
Egypt?
remains of more than 30 lighthouses built by ancient Romans.
Egypt. Yeah, but he was in the movie Troy,
basically a
Was it Troy?
Roman.
Yeah.
which was about Greece
Not Egypt.
or Rome.
Next slide.
Wait. Okay. Fact
All right,
or fiction?
This is
a
the
great
fact or,
screenshot.
This is the fact or fiction section of the presentation. Fact or fiction. This is for Big Cat and PFT.
Okay.
PFT said these exact words on Friday. For a lighthouse to be considered a federal aid to navigation, it must be clearly visible from a federal waterway.
I'm going to say fact.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would say. Now let me pull up the exact
But did
wording.
you pause and put a comma after navigation?
Next slide.
Wait. Go back to that, Hank.
Okay.
Okay, aid to navigate. I'm just pulling this up right now. I want to make sure that
federal law.
by definition, federal aids to navigation are any marine aids installed and maintained by the United States Coast Guard. To answer your question, yes, the fact sheet that I sent is current. For a lighthouse to be considered a federal aid to navigation, comma, it must be clearly visible from a federal waterway.
Next
as a reference
slide.
point.
Introducing my next example. My next, what do you call it? Evidence?
Sure.
Exhibit.
Exhibit. Thank you,
next
Jake.
Next
Very
evidence. Evidence A.
cool. Exhibit A.
You like lighthouses? I'm going to build you an entire podcast of a lighthouse. I'm Exhibit.
The Neponset River. The Neponset River is a river in eastern Massachusetts, in the United States. Its headwaters are at the Neponset River Reservoir in Foxborough, near Gillette Stadium.
Wait, how near?
Next slide.
And what do you mean headwaters?
Yeah, headwaters literally means come.
Next slide.
The start of it?
The Neponset River is federally funded. This is the Neponset River in Milton, Massachusetts. This was, fun fact, just right down the street from our old office in Milton.
Okay.
Used to walk by it every day to go get coffee.
Okay.
During the construction of Gillette Stadium, the river was relocated to the edge of the property adjacent to the Framingham Secondary and Daylit.
You did not write any of this.
Yes, I did.
So wait, they moved the river?
So that is Gillette Stadium. Actually, go to the next slide.
How do you
Memes.
move a river? Wait, go back. You just
That-
said
no.
they relocated the river.
Yeah.
How do you move a river?
Ever heard of dams?
That plugs up a river.
And it moves it. It moves the stream.
Okay.
It's the
I'm not
same
sure if that-
technology.
I'm not sure if
Hank's
that's
starting
true.
to cook. He's starting to cook. A
Next
little bit.
slide.
Mhm.
That is Gillette Stadium, and that is the Neponset River,
That's
a
the head of
federally
it.
funded water.
That's the head of the Neponset River.
It's the
Allegedly.
head
Wait,
of
go
it.
back a couple slides, memes.
It's the head of it.
Go back one more, memes.
Two more.
No, I want. No,
A
go.
lighthouse to be considered a federal, it must be clearly visible from a federal
no.
waterway. Continue.
Oh,
Last
no.
slide. That is the lighthouse, and in the distance, not far away at all, is the Neponset River, a federally funded waterway.
Okay, so Hank, a couple things here.
In conclusion-
one is this or is this not a view from the lighthouse above? It looks like about 3 times as high as the lighthouse is of the river. I do not.
That could be
I am
someone
not
holding
convinced.
a selfie stick.
I am not convinced that you can see that waterway from the top of the lighthouse. I would like to see evidence about it. I would also like to see evidence you can see the lighthouse from the waterway. It looks like there's trees there. The picture that you've shared right now, Hank, is fucked up. That's twice as tall as that stupid fake lighthouse.
We need to see a picture
That's a
from
drone
the head
shot.
of the Neponset River to the lighthouse.
Hank included a picture taken from the Goodyear blimp.
Also, this is the
No,
reverse
that
angle.
could be someone. That could be
PFT
someone on a
or no.
selfie stick.
Hank, you need someone sitting in a boat.
That's what I'm saying.
in
yes.
the river.
because there's a tree line there.
I mean, again, you didn't give me enough time. You really kind of tried to turn this court case around quickly.
You tried to do it on Monday.
Well, I don't have time to go to Massachusetts, but when I do, or if I can get Ben or someone else to help me out, I will prove that you can clearly see the lighthouse from a federally funded waterway, therefore making it a lighthouse officially.
All right. Was that it?
Okay, so
okay.
Wait, so now I get to respond.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wait, also, I have a question. The lighthouse, it looks like it's just the top is lit, but it doesn't actually have like the light that you shine out.
There's no lights that go out. No. In fact, they keep it dark almost all the time, which is a safety hazard. For birds, too. Birds probably fly into that thing all the time.
Wait, but what if you're on a boat at the head of the Neponset River, a federally funded waterway, and the lighthouse isn't on?
If there's a shipwreck, then that goes back to the New England Patriots. It's
We need
blood
to
on their
go.
hands.
We need to go wreck a ship.
We should.
We got to go wreck a ship and be like, we didn't know the land was a mile away.
Okay, I'd like to rebut a couple points made by Henry Lockwood. Henry, what is your evidence that the Neponset River is federally funded?
I have the website.
Okay, tell me what federally funded means. I want to know more details about that.
Joe Biden sends a Cash App transaction every month to the river, different rivers across the country.
It says it right there, though. It does say, go back one. Neponset River is federally funded.
Yeah, that's
So
that's Hank's evidence.
that looks like facts.
that no.
NeponsetRiver.com.
Okay. Oh, it's not
Google it.
.gov. Interesting.
Huh.
Interesting, Hank.
Oh.
Wow, you really proved my point very succinctly.
Is everything that's federally funded .gov? I don't think so.
It just needs to be a
Ukraine.gov.
federal waterway. That's all it needs. All right, so
Well, no, there's a couple things. I'm just scratching the surface here. By definition, federal aids to navigation are any marine aids installed and maintained by the U.S. Coast Guard. Did the U.S. Coast Guard install or do they maintain the fake lighthouse at Gillette Stadium?
Can we go to the next slide?
Yeah, you're not answering.
For a lighthouse to be considered a federal aid to navigation, it
we're
must
in
be
the
clearly
circular
visible
portion
from a
of the
federal
show.
waterway. I do not know the exact details of the construction of the Gillette Stadium lighthouse.
It says it must be clearly visible from a federal waterway. I remain
Next
unconvinced.
slide.
I remain unconvinced that it's clearly visible from a federal waterway. And I looked up which
to the
waters.
last slide.
Hank, wait. I looked up which waters are federally controlled. Federally controlled waters are waters in which vessels must observe federal requirements. Do you know what the federal requirements that vessels have to observe when they're on the Neponset River are? Are there any? If you're boating, can you take a boat out
the
onto
same as all the other federally funded
No, can you take
waters.
a boat onto the Neponset River without observing federal mandates?
No, absolutely not.
You don't know that. That's
I do.
number one.
I do.
The waters include they're either the coastal waters, the Great Lakes, territorial seas, or bodies of water connected directly to one of the above, up to a point where the body of water is less than 2 miles wide. So what that means is if it's connected to the ocean,
Correct, which it is.
It still would be a federal body of water until the point where the river is more narrow than 2 miles wide.
I don't think that's 2
I'm looking
miles
at that
wide.
right now. That doesn't look like it's 2
Hank,
miles
oh,
wide.
easily 2 miles wide.
No,
Oh,
no,
easily.
that doesn't
that's
look like
not
2 miles wide to me, Hank.
What's that distance right there? Do we have it?
That's a mile and a half.
Okay, well then it's definitely not 2 miles.
Yeah, it
wide.
is.
What are you talking about?
No, that's a mile and a half per little spoke.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
okay,
No,
so
he's
the-
making that up.
So now, wait, no,
No, because
no,
look,
if
he's
you're
got the stadium on the map too. That
Wait,
state? Are you saying
1,
Gillette
2,
Stadium
3,
is 3
4,
miles long?
5, 6, 7, 8,
It's a
9,
big-ass
10.
stadium.
So that means that what you're saying right now, that's 15 miles away from not even the lighthouse.
Yeah, maybe it's
That's
two.
too
I
far
forget.
away.
It might be that. Well,
It's
that's why they
either-
had to make it
yeah.
the biggest lighthouse in the continental U.S.
It's too
in
far
order to
away.
be able
If
to
you're
see
saying
it.
that's 1.5 miles each.
Maybe it's half mile. I forget.
If it's a half mile away, then that would mean that Gillette State, that the football field in New England was a mile and a half long.
Yeah, isn't that how big tracks are?
No,
Nope.
no.
Some. Olympic
I
ones.
think now I'm more of an impartial observer here. I think the only way we can conclude this is we need someone sitting in a boat at the head of the Neponset River taking a video with that day's newspaper
Yeah.
to prove that that lighthouse is helping them navigate
And also,
at night, actually.
and also measuring the head of the Neponset River to see if it's more than 2
also
miles
that,
wide.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's a federal
Okay, so the good news is the lighthouse saga is not over.
Listen, I'm keeping an open mind about it.
It sounds like you're not.
I am. I just think that you're very wrong. I think you're so wrong about
I just
this.
presented every piece of evidence you could like if this was a jury, I would win 10-0.
You know what? It's sad.
Disagree.
It's sad to me. 10-0, you would win in front of a jury.
You're partial.
Yeah.
A 10-person jury?
How big are juries? 20?
12.
12-0.
Here's the thing, Hank. It's sad. It's really sad.
I agree.
It's very, very sad.
I agree.
That a once proud New England Patriots fan who expected nothing less than Super Bowls every year has reduced themselves to creating a PowerPoint presentation and hiring out slaves to help you make this court case instead
Did you
of
pay this person, Hank?
instead of talking about football.
Pro bono. So
Yeah,
I gotta
so
win the
slave.
case.
Hank,
Interesting. You gotta win the case.
This is slavery.
No, it's not. That's how just the law system works. If you've ever read a book, you would know that. This is very similar. Again, being a proud Patriots fan, this is par for the course. People try and take us down. They try and make up these rules. Deflategate, PSI, fake reports, fake U.S. Coast Guard people, just trying to
Fake
tear
light
down
houses.
the greatest franchise that NFL football has ever seen.
It's just sad.
And someone's got to defend it. Someone's
used
got to
to
defend
care-
the wall. I've
used
been
to
there
care
before.
about
I would go to
football.
jail for the Lighthouse. I would go to jail for Tom Brady. I already have.
you gotta
Go
break-
to jail for the Lighthouse?
Yeah, I would.
Then you got to
I
break
would.
in.
You
I
would go
would.
to jail for the
Then, Hank,
Lighthouse?
I would.
Then
Absolutely.
break in and take a picture of the Neponset River.
I just might.
I don't
have
think
to
you would
break
go to
in. They
jail.
would welcome me with open arms.
I don't think you would go to jail for the White House.
I'm proud of you, Hank,
the Lighthouse.
for putting this presentation together, even though you didn't. But I'm proud of you.
I mean, that's
Well, no, the Ben guy did everything.
who do you think made this presentation?
Well, I know that
Ben.
Hank made the slide that has Brad Pitt representing Egypt.
Whoa! Whoa!
One of the most famous Egyptians out there.
Why are you coming at me for getting help when PFT and his fucking little commander friend don't get any heat? Interesting.
well, he went
did
out and
PFT
went to
find
the
those facts,
source.
or did that guy DM
It's
him?
called journalism,
Interesting.
Hank.
No,
I reached out to the head of the United States Coast Guard to ask for their official comment on the record.
Sounds like you're. Yeah, he did.
And so I can't reach out to an expert in the field.
What are his
field of
qualifications?
expertise?
What's Ben's qualifications?
White House expert in the field.
Guy who
Reporter.
makes PowerPoints.
I made this PowerPoint.
You did? All right, then I take it back. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I
So-
thought that the screenshot that you used was you're mad. You're mad. That's not a screenshot you would use if this was a neutral PowerPoint.
I somehow you've wiped the internet clean. I literally typed into Google PFT short, and there wasn't a lot of the good ones. Like I could have probably could have worked harder to find some better ones, but you've done a good
You
job
tried to write a hit piece.
Yeah. he was.
wiping those out.
he was.
No,
Hank,
just a little comedic relief.
it's sad.
I mean, I tied in like the Neponset River. I'm close to the Neponset River. I've bathed in it. I've
You've
swam
bathed in it?
Yeah,
You've bathed in it.
yeah.
How many times?
At least once.
When?
Many times. I mean, I've gone swimming. Swimming and cleaning and washing off counts as bathing, right?
Did you bring soap?
cleaning?
Yeah, the Neponset Rivers.
You brought soap with you into the Neponset
No, but like
River?
if you have
All
sand
right, well, now
on
we
you-
have another thing we have
if
to
you have
investigate.
sand on you, you're dirty. And then
What qualifies as bathing?
Yeah.
jumping
Come on,
in the
Hank.
water is bait.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first start to tell lies. That's you right now.
All right,
Trapped
so
in your own
so we're
cocoon.
to be continued again.
Also, is this a cartoon illustration? It looks
Oh
like
yeah, that looks
3D.
like it's AI.
It doesn't look real.
Hank, did you use
Jake.
AI?
No.
Do you think I know how to use AI?
Wait,
I don't
okay.
know, I'm just
Good
saying.
question.
Oh,
because
no.
let's think
I mean,
about this real
this is
quick.
It looks like a
Insane.
future stadium.
NFL games this year played in Gillette Stadium. Hank,
One
who have
was
you
at
played?
night.
One was at night, and the other was on a rainy day
Eagles.
against the Eagles. That's
Oh,
a
no.
that's a sunny day with a full
Hank,
stadium. Hank,
This is a fake picture.
No, it's not.
Yes,
This
it
is this is
Unless it was
AI.
a preseason game, but I don't see preseason crowds like
And
that.
look at the,
No.
and yeah, the trees tell you it's late October.
wow,
Oh my God,
Hank.
Hank, you basically went and got a pamphlet that basically they created for the Lighthouse.
Look at this. It's literally type in Gillette Stadium, Neponset River. You can see it.
I'm not arguing that you were lazy in choosing your picture that you
You used a fake picture.
used a fake picture though.
It's a rendering.
A rendering isn't used in a court of law. What
not
if I had a rendering of you murdering someone? Could I
not-
be like, look at this?
It's not a fake picture; it's a rendering.
Hank, that is I'm
Good catch, Jake.
I'm now taking it back again. Terrible slideshow.
This is sad.
Disgusting.
I mean, there's no proof that that's not a real picture.
Who are they playing? When was this game played?
Preseason.
Preseason.
And
And
the
the
leaves are
trees
turning
look like
orange.
that?
Yeah, global warming.
Oh.
Sold
Wait,
out
that's the
crowds.
opposite.
That would mean that the leaves would wait a long time to
No,
turn.
they're getting.
And you also don't think weather's real. So how can you say global warming?
global warming.
You really boxed yourself in here. That is the fakest picture ever. Look at the concourse. That's fake. Those are fake. That's unbelievable.
Patriots' only home preseason game was at night.
Oh,
no,
my
Hank.
God. That's a full stadium.
What does the scoreboard say?
It was Texans 20, Patriots 9. That
Oh,
doesn't look like
my
the scene for
God.
Memes,
Hank.
can you zoom in on
That could have
on
been
the scoreboard?
before the Eagles. What do you mean the Eagles game?
The Eagles game, it was raining, and
Maybe not before the game started.
well, the whole
Players on the
stadium's
field.
filled.
the stadium's
Yeah, we actually have a good fan base.
Super.
They show up early. It was
okay.
Tom Brady night.
And
right?
also the leaves have already turned in first week of September.
Yeah, we went over this global warming.
Global warming. Okay, got
We
it.
did go over
It's
this.
it's abbreviating
Oh,
the season.
man.
You know what? This is such a bad PowerPoint that
Can you pull up a real
I'm,
picture of Gillette?
I'm inclined to give Hank the dub just because it's so depressing.
Because I think they're just missing stuff in this picture too, right? Yeah, I mean, Hank, that's tough. A rendering.
The slide
you
that
could
said
render anything.
the slide that said the Neponset River is federally funded was pretty convincing though.
Yeah, that was that. Is that the old lighthouse or the new one?
Oh, that's the old one.
Nope.
Aerial. Not even close to right.
Oh man, Hank.
Hank, this is tough. Yeah, just click on one of them.
These are the other angles.
Man, this
I don't
is not
see a
looking
river.
That's the reverse angle.
Okay, I don't see a lighthouse.
That's also the reverse angle.
I don't see a river or a lighthouse.
That's the old lighthouse.
Yeah, that's like,
That's the old one.
This lighthouse. You know what? I feel bad for the old lighthouse.
Yeah, it
I actually
really
think-
got shunned.
I think the old one was.
Oh,
better
there's
than the new
one. Okay, so this is a real picture,
And you can see it.
and you can't see the river.
Yes, you can.
Where?
no, it says Gillette Stadium rendering.
Oh, that's the rendering. Yeah. Oh, there's the exact picture.
Boom.
Enhancements coming.
Oh, we found it.
Oh, so that lighthouse isn't even real. It hadn't even been.
That's a
built yet.
fake.
But the
We literally
picture is
found
real.
the fake picture.
The picture is real. They just
No, it's-
rendered in a lighthouse. I don't understand
No,
the
it's
difference.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You think they rendered in the
Oh, it could have been a New England Revolution game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Full
No, you
crowd.
Can see, you can see.
Wait, go back to the one that we found that Hank actually took from the internet. There, this one. Click on this. Click on the article. Enhancements coming to Gillette
That's
Stadium.
from 2021.
Wow, Hank. We don't even know if the river's still there.
That's a real picture. They,
might
just
have moved
added
it
a
again.
little Photoshop in.
So it's Photoshop.
Like it's a pic. No, it's a real picture.
no, you just said it's Photoshop
interesting.
with the additional
with an additional what?
It's a tough look.
Where did they
Hank.
add in? Hank?
lighthouse added.
They added in the lighthouse.
This is a tough look, Hank.
I mean, someone's gonna send a clear picture from the lighthouse of the
Listen,
river.
No,
and all
we
this
need
will
it
be
from the
proven
river
wrong.
to the lighthouse.
Here
fine.
are my terms. Here are my terms for the New England Patriots. I will stop going on the lighthouse. I will actually love the lighthouse if they stop referring to it as a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Because it's not a lighthouse. And the fact that they're putting out press releases saying it's the biggest lighthouse in America.
It is.
Which is woe be unto the good people of Cape Hatteras who have an actual lighthouse that they've looked after for hundreds of years. You know how many lighthouse tenders have lived and died in that place? You know how much blood, sweat, and tears have gone into maintaining the Cape Hatteras lighthouse? And then you just come in one day and your billionaire owner takes a break from banging his 25-year-old girlfriend or massage therapist, and he decides he's
order.
going to spend money. I'm sorry, I'm heated. He decides he's going to throw money at the problem and make a lighthouse, taking away all the credit that should belong to the real lighthouses, the real lighthouse keepers that built this fucking country and made it safe for international commerce to exist. And meanwhile, you come in and just you turn your nose up at it. And you're like, I'm a patriot. I'm the best. We're the best franchise. We can do a better lighthouse. Fuck off. Admit it's not a real lighthouse, and then I will back off.
That was passionate. You don't have that type of passion.
I have.
Hank.
What do you mean?
You
New
don't
England.
have that type of
It's not
passion.
just a one. We're not better than all the other football teams. We're not just one state. We're not just one city. We
Wait, go to
represent
the
an
tallest
entire,
U.S. lighthouses.
We represent an entire. Oh, what? Look at this.
See, this is
Interesting.
bullshit. They're taking valor.
Yeah,
Bang.
see, that's the official New England Patriots propaganda.
Sports Business Journal.
Yeah, that the Patriots sent to them.
Sports Business Journal.
Oh man, we gotta. I mean, we need what?
What does that asterisk say right there, Hank?
Oh, there's an asterisk.
It
What's
says
it say?
not a functioning lighthouse.
Oh, we spent all this time and they just tweeted it out. All this research.
But it's still bullshit that
It
it's
literally
even
says it
included on
right
this.
there.
Tallest U.S. lighthouses. That's a fact.
Oh man. All right. Well, I would like to see a picture from the river.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Yeah,
I would. And
Okay.
I'm still undecided on buying a lighthouse.
I am undecided on whether I'll help you buy a Lighthouse.
That's
But
why I know.
Actually, no, I'm not undecided on that.
Yeah.
If you do, I will match.
Okay. All right. So 44 grand each.
Yeah. Let's just we got to know the upkeep. That's the only thing.
I think there's probably a significant amount of upkeep that goes into a Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the analytics of skips during this section.
Oh, you got to let us know on Friday. All right. Well, let's get back to the show.
You know what? The Commanders are about to buy the land or about to use the land where old RFK Stadium used to be.
Lighthouse.
Right next to the Potomac River and the Anacostia River. We could actually build a bigger lighthouse.
We should just buy some land we should buy some land near the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
And build a lighthouse.
Yeah.
And have it be the tallest lighthouse.
We should do that.
Okay. All right. So to be continued again.
Sure.
We need the picture.
Mm-hmm.
We need the picture. You've presented some facts. That slide that said Neponset River federally funded waterway was compelling. So, what does this say?
The top of the lighthouse stretches 7 flights of steps above the stadium's highest concourse. Even on a gloomy day, Boston's skyline, more than 20 miles away,
Oh no.
is visible in the distance.
Okay. So you can see real buildings from it.
But can they see back?
They can't see back. No,
We got to find out if they can see back.
they can't.
All right, let's get back to the regular scheduled program. To be continued on the Lighthouse. Great work all around. That was fascinating stuff.
I mean, I ran into an intellectual titan in Henry Lockwood, so it's
Well,
a pleasure
Ben.
to debate.
Ben.
Pleasure to debate, Hank.
It is Megan. I just spelled his name wrong.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
It
Megan
literally
McCain's
is?
husband?
Yeah. How did you get?
I got sources. Don't worry
He
about
just
it.
hit you up and was like, "Let me help you defeat the Lighthouse."
No, I was just
slander?
like, who do I know that's a good journalist?
That's
Oh,
great.
man.
Well, shout out Ben. He did a great work. I mean, that was great work. I don't think you did any of it. He did all of it.
Can we go to slide 5, please, memes?
That's so funny that you didn't spell the person's name correct. Slide 5 says the Neponset River is federally funded.
Yeah. Is that the river they used to jump into when you were hungover?
Not that spot, but yeah, that river.
Oh. And you
Actually-
bathed.
That was just the ocean. But the Neponset River, I think, is...
The classic Hank, the Mount Rushmore of way secure hangover.
See, even this
jumping off a
journalist.
bridge.
This says, I went to the top of the new lighthouse at Gillette Stadium a few weeks ago, the tallest quotation marks lighthouse in the U.S. Not a real lighthouse.
No, not at all.
All right. Hot Seat Chill Throne. Hot Seat Chill Throne brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Game day just got a whole lot chiller because this season you can take your whole tailgate to the next level with the Coors Light Chill Throne, the only seat specifically designed for tailgating all game day long with features like Bluetooth speakers, stadium turf leg rest, a cup holder that chills your Coors Light to a perfect 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and a Coors Light can tap draft to pour one for a pal. The Chill Throne is innovation every tailgate has been waiting for. So let your friends bring the grill, the flat screens, and the cornhole. You bring the chill with the Coors Light Chill Throne. And starting now, you could get the PMT Chill Throne. Yep, the Chill Throne that Hank's sitting in right now, that we've been sitting in all season on eBay. Auction is live from September 28th to September 30th. That's Thursday to Saturday. All proceeds will be donated to the Habitat for Humanity. Bid to become the MVP of your entire tailgate. Game day will never be the same with the Coors Light Chill Throne. Okay, Hot Seat Chill Throne. Hank,
Let me pull up my notes.
are
Hot
these
Seat's
your
my-
notes or someone else's?
I mean, they're always my notes. You know me.
Not anymore.
Hot seat's myself.
Yeah, I agree.
Not for anything Lighthouse related, but I did start declaring that I'm going to find a Big Ten team this fall. Going on Saturdays, picking a different team every week. Then about 3 weeks in, I had a bachelor party Labor Day weekend, and then I went out the first 2 Saturdays of the week, fall, and remembered that I never used to go out on Saturdays because being hungover Sundays is the worst doing this show. And so I've kind of just put a pause on the Big Ten fandom.
Why don't you just not drink?
We've talked about this before. I am not fully capable. Like I'm not there yet.
Just go beers only.
But beers only. Like once I get a couple beers in me, I want to have 20 beers in me.
So are you?
I'm not like that type of person that can just go out. I can just not go out and not drink, but I can't go out and then not drink.
You
Wait,
cannot go out.
You could not
I
go out.
I have no
not go
problem
drink.
not going out.
Yeah. No, I understand that. If you're in a bar, you're going to drink.
Yes.
Yeah. So wait. So are you doing one this weekend?
No.
But then we have Surviving Barstool, and then.
That's why it's on pause. That's why I'm on the hot seat.
But I
Indefinitely.
feel like you have to do one this weekend
Why?
because you're going to run out of time.
There's basketball season.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So this is going to.
It's on pause. I put
maybe
myself on the hot
baseball
seat.
season,
I put myself on the
lacrosse.
hot seat. It was a good idea. I was here this summer, maybe not working as much as I was, and I was meeting all these people, all these different Big Ten schools. Like, oh, I want to find a Big Ten team to root for. Didn't factor in football season.
Yeah, you did say you muttered under your breath on Sunday. You're like, I forgot I used to not drink on Saturdays.
Yeah, the last 4 years, I was always a big Friday night guy. Kind of recover Saturday, and then you're good for Sunday. Going from the bachelor party, which
Wait,
obviously
you would
took
get
a
drunk
lot.
on a weekday?
Yeah, I mean that's because we work on Sundays, so it's kind of different. You got to make your weekdays the weekends. But yeah, just having the three consecutive Sundays where I wanted to die was not good. So I for the betterment of myself.
Hey, can I
pause on it.
make a suggestion?
Yes.
Why don't you just do noon games, and then you go home after the noon games?
I tried that twice, or no, I tried that once,
Day drinking's fun.
and then it leads to night drinking.
Yeah.
But the best is going out watching the early games.
True.
Watch them at a bar, and then you watch the first half of the second games. Then you go
Go
home.
home. You order Uber Eats.
Yes, you order Uber Eats, and then you just chill out on your couch, and you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option. I just have kind of, with
This
Surviving Barstool coming up, I was like, I want to get my mind right. I want to get my mentals on point.
For 2
So-
weeks ahead. So this is it's great watching Hank battle adulthood because if you remember last week when I complimented him, I was like, "You're really grown up." And then after we finished taping that show, he texted the group text chat 20 minutes later. He's like, "Does anyone know where my wallet is?"
Yeah.
It was here. No, I just fell out of my pocket.
He got
On
locked
the show
out
time.
twice,
Yeah.
and then lost his wallet.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Yeah, it's a battle. It's a rivalry right now. You got to get a win. You're getting
Yeah.
a win right now.
I'm trying to be an adult.
Yeah. All right. You're cool. You're chill throne.
I'm trying to beat. I can't fool myself. That's
Right.
Some people can be.
I
"Oh, just go out
understand
for
where
a
you're
little
coming
bit.
from.
Go out. Don't go out. Go out for a couple hours. And it's like,
I can't. For me, it's like anything over 2 beers, might as well get blacked out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because you're feeling it the next day no matter what. And then it's like,
Yeah.
obviously it's not a hard job, but watching football on stream, there's nothing better than being hungover and just lying on your couch, kind
Right,
of
you
half
can't do
dead,
that, yeah.
watching football, eating, maybe fall asleep for the late games. You can't really do that here. So it's you're just mentally in a torture chamber.
People think that this job is easy.
No.
It's not.
It's not easy to watch football all day.
And then my cool throne is Jim Tom Sula.
Oh, yeah, he was mine too.
Well, I got him first.
Good. No, I'm glad. I'm glad.
His European football team, he led his European football team to a 14-0 championship season where they won each game by an average of 27 points.
What team is that?
Wow.
It's a German team.
Yeah, what team? Do you know? It's the
4 aces?
Rhine Fire.
Oh.
Rhine Fire. Yeah. So perfect season.
Who's
You
on
ever
the
had
4
one of
aces?
Have you ever had one of those? Perfect season.
Nope.
Who's on the 4 aces?
Dustin Johnson, Pat Perez, Peter Uline,
Oh, no.
Patrick Reed.
There you go. Good job.
All right.
Good job. It was nice to see Jim Tom Sula celebrate.
Yes.
He looked
yes.
all wet and happy.
He looked awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, PFT, your hot seat chill throne.
My hot seat is golfers. Golfers this weekend over in Europe because have you guys seen the fairway videos that are coming out? The fairway rough videos?
Yeah.
I saw our guy Dan Rappaport's. He kind of
He disputed it.
He's
Yeah.
trying to debunk it, but that was only one hole of the course. And by debunking it, he further went to show if you miss the fairway by 5 yards, it's not that bad. If you miss it by 7 yards, then you're basically in a rainforest.
Yes.
It looks bad. And
it's penal.
I can't wait. It is penal.
It is penal.
It's penal
big
grounds.
time penal.
It's perverted over in Italy, and it is penal. It's at the Marco Simone Golf Course. I went to their Google reviews to read what the feedback from the public has been. So this is prior to them hosting the Ryder Cup. I found one 1-star review that said, I played there 2 weeks ago. My son was locked in a bathroom for 45 minutes. Faulty lock, no cell reception. After finally finding him and getting a maintenance guy to open the door, had to get to the first tee. The kid was traumatized. The manager didn't care about our experience, even told me afterwards he wasn't even sure there was a problem with the lock.
Ooh.
So the bathrooms will take you alive over there.
Damn.
So if you got bad butt issues and you're playing in the Ryder Cup, Max,
Watch
just
out.
keep it easy. just like boiled rice, boiled ground beef, like a sick dog.
Yeah.
Make sure that your stomach
Carrots.
is okay.
Yeah.
And then my cool throne was going to be Jim Tomsula, but instead I'll make it double golf. Charlie Woods.
Yeah.
He just won a tournament. Charlie won a tournament, first of many. Probably not even his first. Probably his like 100th.
For sure.
But he's
for sure.
right now. He's on pace to win 40 majors,
Whew.
which is pretty incredible.
Is that good?
And Tiger was on the bag.
Yeah.
He was on his
walking.
bag? Love that.
Yeah.
Walking. People
Interesting.
were like, he's walking again.
Yeah. So Charlie, keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah. All right. My hot seat. I got a couple. Big Ben and Jerome Bettis. Did you see this clip, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the funniest like cell phone of all time. Big Ben and Jerome Bettis were talking about, I think, the 2004 AFC Championship game.
Yep.
And they're like, the Patriots cheated. And they told the story that they had a hand signal to run counter to flip their play. And the Patriots had figured out their hand signal because Jerome Bettis was like, we had this hand signal back in the day. We ran all the time. So not really like cheating, just they knew it.
Mm-hmm.
They called a timeout. The Patriots called a timeout and then set up to stop the counter, and the Steelers still ran the same play and stopped it. And so it was it's quite the clip. They basically just kept on telling the story, saying the Patriots cheated, and the whole time it was Jerome Bettis essentially saying, yeah, we're so dumb. We had the same hand signal, and then we ran the same play after a timeout.
And we
We're
didn't
so
change
dumb
it.
we don't
Yeah.
respect the river that's 10 miles
It
away.
was so great because Big Ben was like, yeah, they cheated.
There was another great clip from that when Big Ben explained how he got the nickname Big Ben.
Oh,
Do you guys know?
no.
You might think it's because he's a big guy and his name is Ben, but apparently when he was in college, they ran a Hail Mary play and they called the play Big Ben and scored a touchdown, so everyone started to call him Big Ben. I don't think it's ever occurred to Big Ben that maybe they named the play Big Ben
He's
because
big.
their big quarterback,
Yeah.
his job was to just go back and throw the ball as far as he could.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not even a big guy.
Yeah, he's like, come on, I don't know how people think like I'm big, but I'm actually not. It's just the name.
And then my other hot seat is Aaron Rodgers because I think I have rented his head. He mentioned me on the Pat McAfee show when I think they were talking about Jordan Love, like some people online saying that Aaron Rodgers' support of Jordan Love is fake. And Aaron Rodgers is like, oh, was that Big Cat? Looks like it's flipped.
Was that you?
No, it wasn't. I said it's fucked up that Jordan Love is good.
But you never said that you think he's
No, I said it's fucked up Jordan Love's good because it's not fair.
faking the support. That was
No, I
never
didn't.
you.
No.
Did you
So-
think it?
No, actually, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I actually didn't. I actually think that might be genuine.
Okay.
I
so
think
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers isn't that bad of a guy.
I'm going to rule that you are living
his head.
in Aaron Rodgers' head for sure.
Yeah. So nice little flip there. My cool
Kind
throne
of sus.
is Tyreek Hill because he came out today and said that when he retires, he wants to just kind of get out of the limelight and enjoy his retirement in peace and also be a porn star.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, he wants to be a porn star.
That's what Miami will do to you.
Yeah. He said, I think he was on a Twitch stream or something. He said this. So yeah, tune in. I would watch.
Yeah.
I would watch.
He's very
Let's
fast.
be honest here. I would watch.
Yeah.
Everyone here in this room would watch, and don't pretend you wouldn't. You'd want to see how he fucks.
I'd want the hips must go like a mile a minute,
Fast switch muscles.
like a drill bit. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like a hummingbird.
Yeah.
Or woodpecker.
Girl's just gonna have a bruise on her pubic bone.
Yeah. And then my other cool throne is the White Sox, who are running $1 Thursday. I think it's either their last home game or close to it. $1 to get in. There's actually talk about Cubs fans taking over because they're playing the Marlins and the Cubs need the Marlins to lose. But a reporter asked about it because it's the middle of the day and it's a 1 o'clock game. $1 game. He said, if you can't get off work but want to buy a ticket to Thursday's $1 White Sox game, I just confirmed with the team that you can bring your laptop into the ballpark, but not your laptop bag.
So you can just raw dog your computer in there. You know what they should do if they want people to attend game? They should be like, tonight is official. Don't get shot night.
Yeah. Well, I just want to see some people just walking with their laptop because that's an awkward feeling when you don't have a bag for your laptop.
Yeah.
Because you just feel the whole time like, I'm going to drop this.
As far as end of the year promotions go, I don't know that bring your laptop to the park is as good as Bark at the Park night, which is I've seen a couple of those
The
happen.
best.
I fucking love Bark at the Park nights. They did one. I think the Mets did one the other night.
Yeah.
And they did the Simba Cam where people were just holding their
Holding them
dogs up.
Yeah.
They should do that every night. Dogs
Absolutely.
should be welcome in stadiums.
Yes. All right, Jake, your hot seat chill throne.
My hot seat is Zach Wilson. For 2 reasons. One, the Jets brought in Trevor Siemian.
Yes.
Ride the Sibian.
And number 2, Joe Namath just verbally destroyed Zach Wilson's confidence.
But on the flip side, Robert Saleh came out and he said, what did he say?
He said he's our guy, right?
No, not. I think he even went further and said, like, he's not the reason we lost.
Yeah, well, he's not the only reason, but he's a pretty big one.
He's a pretty big reason.
So Joe Namath said on the Michael K show, I don't know why we're trusting this again because I got duped a few weeks ago.
Oh, man.
But this is from Joe Namath's mouth. I don't believe in him. I don't believe he has a future as a good player, and I think they made the wrong choice when they drafted him.
Ooh, tell us how you really feel,
Going
Joe.
out on a limb. He's a thrower, not a passer.
Damn.
Come here, Susie. I want to kiss you.
Yeah, so
Give me a kiss,
that's
Susie.
probably not great.
Probably not great.
Not great.
But the fact that they're bringing in Simeon, like the Jets need to have a reality check, I think, because they're trying to like bring in some competition without making Zach Wilson actually have his feelings hurt.
Right.
So they're getting players that are not going to be a threat to him. And they're like, here, we're just getting you some support. That's all. You need to get him an actual replacement.
Also, Zach Wilson, what you should simply do is point out that I believe you have better stats than Joe Namath, because people forget that Joe Namath was actually under 500 as a quarterback and also had significantly more interceptions than touchdowns. So Zach Wilson, this is probably going to be ugly, but let's look it up. Zach Wilson is 17 touchdowns to 22 interceptions, 17 to 22. And Joe Namath is, let's see, Joe Namath is 173 to 220. I feel like Zach Wilson has a better ratio, does he not?
Okay, so that's
maybe
what
not.
was 0.77. What was the other one?
Joe Namath,
Yeah.
173 to 220.
Joe Namath is worse
Yeah. So point it out, Zach.
by
Yeah.
0.01%.
Get his ass.
Also, this Sunday we get the official Billy Football Bowl because it's Zach Wilson versus Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, wait.
Passing of the torch.
I'm dumb at math.
I think, yeah.
I think Zach Wilson is 0.01% worse than Joe Namath.
Either way.
Okay, so throw a touchdown, Zach, and no interceptions.
Yep, and then you'll
you
be
can
better.
Just
Yep.
clap back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My chill throne is rivalries. Allegedly, the New Mexico State
What, when we lost
quarterback,
to the Orange Squeeze?
Orlando.
Orlando Squeeze.
The New Mexico State quarterback allegedly pissed on New Mexico's logo.
I like that. I like it. Good.
Love it.
Yeah, literal
Love it.
piss.
Pissed on the Lobo?
Logo. Well, Lobo the logo.
Oh, whoa.
Lobo
Jake.
the logo.
Lobo the logo.
CD just skipped there.
Lobo the logo.
So,
Jerry Kill is the New Mexico State head coach, who's one of my favorite characters in college football because football almost killed him.
was he the guy that ate ice cream on the side?
No, that was Dilly Bardan,
Okay.
who looks like Jerry Kill. Jerry Kill, football was giving him seizures, so he had to retire because he was like, if I keep coaching football, I'm going to die. But now he's back.
Rivalry gone too far is the caption on that video. I think that's perfect. I think it's good for college football.
Also, Jerry Kill was an all-time, I love when teams' mascots look like their head coaches. He did look like a gopher.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing. The old
Coach K looks like the
Coach
Blue
K,
Devil.
and then the old head coach for the Penn State basketball team. Who was that? He looked like a Nittany Lion. He had white hair, short guy.
Oh.
I love when that happens. It's very fun. It's like 101 Dalmatians, where you end up looking like your dog. Do you remember his name? Max? Oh no, Villanova basketball. Oh, that's interesting. Max gets Villanova basketball and Penn State
Dick Carter?
football. Huh.
No, Villanova doesn't have a.
They
FBS.
have a football team.
Not an FBS team.
I don't know. Whatever his name was.
Dick Harder.
I don't know.
Dick Harder?
Yeah, that was their coach until.
Watch your mouth, Jake.
I don't think that was his name.
Shut up, Blue Chew.
Jake, how do you not know this? You're the college basketball guy.
I'm sorry, I don't know that one.
It was like Pat something.
Oh, Pat Chambers.
Yeah, Pat
Oh,
Chambers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
there you
realize
go.
that
Pat
recent.
Mycock.
Yeah.
I get credit for that. I got you, Pat.
Yeah.
Pat Mycock.
Yeah.
Hank is on fire today.
Yeah, kind
I
of.
like it. Hank's got his,
Ever since the trial, he's been good.
yeah, he's been good. All right, let's get to our interview. We got Andy Staples. He's brought to you by our friends at Body Armor. Time for Andy Staples, and shout out to Body Armor. Body Armor helps us stay hydrated Throughout our interviews with the biggest guests in the world, packed with electrolytes and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes, Body Armor hydrates the best athletes in the world, and more importantly, us during interviews. Body Armor is available in stores nationwide, but you can head over now to Body Armor store on Amazon and get yours today. We love Body Armor. We're drinking all the time. They have great flavors. Their water is great. Great bottles of water because they're big and they got the wide mouth.
Yep.
So Body Armor is available in stores nationwide, but you can head over now to Body Armor store on Amazon and get yours today. Here he is, Andy Staples. Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest, our good friend Andy Staples. You can find him on 3 Sports, the Andy Staples Show. You can find it on podcast, YouTube, everywhere. We talk college football on Wednesdays, so it's perfect that you were here in person to talk about college football and everything that's happening. It's been a very exciting year. I want to start with this. Is this the most aggrieved people have been in college football in terms of coaches, players? We have it everywhere.
Yeah.
Ryan Day calling out Lou Holtz.
He's a piece of shit.
Colorado getting Oregon releasing a tape where Colorado's being like, call the National Guard. We're going to kill some ducks. All these things. Everyone's got a gripe. Kirby Smart getting upset because Georgia fans aren't loud enough. Like
Jimbo Fisher trying to hit a guy on a fumble return.
Yeah, it's like
he wasn't trying to hit the guy. I'm disappointed in Jimbo.
Yeah.
You got to break down on that.
Yeah, but the motivation has been out of control, real or perceived, and it feels like everyone's mad at someone. Even we forgot to mention Michigan, the week 1, pretending that Jim Harbaugh died.
Right.
And doing the free
Forza.
Harbaugh. Forza. What's going on right now?
It's great.
It is great.
It's pro wrestling.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. I recorded the open for my show tomorrow or tonight, and that is what it is. Like, this is pro wrestling. I started watching that wrestler show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Jones, our guy.
Yeah, exactly. I was listening to Al Snow talk about, okay, you gotta put the baby face over. You gotta have the heel get heat. That's exactly what's happening. So Dan Lanning used Deion Sanders to put himself over, and Deion allowed Dan Lanning to get over.
Yeah.
If we're using that terminology, that's exactly. And Dan Lanning said it yesterday. He's like, what Deion's doing is great. He's bringing so many eyeballs to the sport. Think about this. When Oregon dropped that video on Monday night, all we in the college football universe were talking about was Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, well, see, you're doing that because of Colorado. Yes, we are. But now we're talking about Oregon.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about Oregon. We're like, oh my God, Oregon plays Washington soon. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah. It's good for everybody.
It is. Well, I did like the Dan Lanning clip. I mentioned it. Oregon fans got mad, but like his clip where he's like, we're about wins, not clicks. He was doing it in front of ESPN camera. And also, again, I think Dan Lanning's
Oregon. You have a billboard.
Oregon, yeah.
Well, not in Times Square. They're in where are they? Gramercy? I can't remember what neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bo Nix is in.
Bo Nix for Heisman.
I think in that game they were wearing special cleats that change colors depending on like their moves.
Yeah, or Oregon's the original all sizzle no steak team. They're the ones we always said, well, they just go fast and wear fancy uniforms. They don't actually play football. But now they've got these giant 300-pound dudes like Josh Connerly who, they can play football too.
Also, wasn't Lanning doing that for clicks?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like he's doing it in front of a camera, which again,
Yeah.
I like Dan Lanning a lot, but it was funny because every coach should be trying to do things for clicks because it gets recruits and it gets your name out there.
Also, it's the entertainment business.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you aren't Kirby Smart or Nick Saban, or I guess not, Ryan Day does it too now, but if you're not them, be entertaining.
Right.
Like if you're like Dave Doran at NC State, wins like 8-9 games every year. Like imagine if he was fun.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so what about Ryan Day? I feel like if we're doing the wrestling analogy, he might have worked himself into a shoot.
Yes.
Against Lou Holtz.
It was the work that became a shoot.
Yeah, Lou Holtz is at home being like, look at you all emotional right now.
Oh my
God.
God.
What a come up for Lou Holtz to be relevant, huh?
Here's the thing. That's not the guy you target, but Ryan Day needed someone to say that out loud to hang his argument on. Because Ryan Day hears that every day of his life. You've turned Ohio State soft. Woody Hayes is rolling over in his grave.
Yep.
Like, he hears it every day. So he wanted a chance to say, here, stick that up your ass. Like, we needed a yard. We got it against 10 guys. But we got it.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Twice.
They got it twice against 10 guys.
Yeah.
So with the Lou Holtz thing, I almost hope that Ryan Day continues to go after Lou Holtz. I hope after every single game that he has, he's like, "Hey, Lou Holtz, where you at? Where you at, Lou?" I hope Lou starts attending Ohio State games.
He hangs him in an effigy.
Yeah, sitting up in a booth, like giving him a thumbs down.
Let's remember the circumstances of that Lou Holtz interview. That's on the McAfee show. I'm blanking on which member of the Toxic Table does.
I think it was Ty.
Ty Schmidt does the dead-on Lou Holtz impression.
Yes,
he's in latex.
He's interviewing Lou Holtz as Lou Holtz.
Right. And first of all, like I've done radio with Lou Holtz before. Like he is exactly what you think he'd be. This was back when Jacoby Brissett was playing for NC State, and he called him Jacoby Brisket multiple times.
Yeah, yep.
And I just kept giggling, and he didn't know why. So, but it's amazing that that's the guy you target. Like, oh, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show him. Okay, you don't need to show Lou Holtz. You need to show James Franklin and Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
because that's who you need to worry about, and that is the concern. Because what we saw Notre Dame doing to Ohio State's defense late in the second half, were that the more they ran the ball, the better they got at running the ball.
The Michigan method
sounds a lot like Michigan, and I guarantee you that's what James Franklin's looking at and going, okay, here's how I'm going to attack them too. And oh, by the way, Kyle McCord is awesome when he's got time to throw. When they brought some pressure, that's a problem. So when you're playing against Abdul Carter and Chop Robinson in a few weeks,
Penn State's
there will be pressure.
Legit.
So you were in South Bend though, and you just mentioned before we started interviewing that you talked to Marcus Freeman.
Yes,
you got 10 minutes with Marcus Freeman.
Yep.
Is Marcus
9 minutes?
Is he still standing? Is he standing by the fact that he didn't want to cause a penalty for his team, and that's why he didn't run a guy up there? Because
I don't
know if you're familiar with the arrow paradox,
Yeah.
Andy, but the arrow paradox says that you can divide anything in half enough times, and it'll never get to zero.
Right.
So
he did want to cause a penalty. What he didn't want to cause was a free play. So I got the full explanation of that. It's so if you don't want to go very in the weeds, you might want to skip 15 seconds forward. But here's what happened. So they did not find out right after that second down play. Because if it had been right after the second down play, which was an incomplete pass, you just run somebody onto the field. They found out as Ohio State is lined up, ready to go. And so the ball's on the far hash, down in the end zone. The coach can't go past the 30. So he's like, we can't run somebody on because they won't make it across the line of scrimmage in time. They'll snap it.
Free play.
And it's a free play. You just drop the flag and the play goes on. So even if you stop them, then you have to stop them again. The only way to do it is to get one of your defensive players to touch an offensive player.
Yeah.
And they had no way because it's too loud. So they have now created a signal.
Huh.
So the cornerback nearest their sideline, from now on, there will be a signal to that guy. If you need it, touch the receiver, get the official's attention.
So my theory is he didn't want to get an 11th guy on there because the 10 guys on defense and the gaping hole where Ohio State scored
right
the winning
there.
touchdown covers up for the fact that they called a pass play on second down when they had the ball and didn't let – They
easily
could have had Ohio State. Ohio State could have been sitting there with no timeouts.
40
making
seconds
it
or
way
a timeout.
harder. And that one play that actually almost got picked off,
Yes.
which was crazy, that coaching decision gets lost in the shuffle
Oh, no.
because of the 10 guys on field.
If we're assigning blame to things, that's way worse.
It's crazy.
Than the 10 guys on the field. Because I remember I'm standing there on the field and I'm looking at the clock and I'm bad at math, but I'm like subtracting 40 seconds
Right.
from the clock or subtracting a timeout. I'm like, how do you not just hand that off there?
It's also, I think that what happens now is we get confused because there is the idea that in football you don't want to play to what's the saying? You want to play to win, not play to not lose.
Right.
But that's a situation like that's to me more like 3 minutes left, run your offense. That was clearly just do the math and figure out a way to have them have no timeouts and the littlest amount of time
You're also
possible.
running the ball well.
Right.
It's a loaded box, but a screen against a loaded box is the same problem as a handoff against a loaded box.
Right. And it almost got picked off. So
that to me, there is a sliding scale on that. Because
Right.
obviously at the end of a game, victory formation, you're playing to not lose.
Right.
You're not trying to do anything. You're like, okay, we've got to win. You're right. Like if it's the further away from the end of the game it is, the more aggressive you can take with
yeah,
your
like
chances.
4 minutes left. I get it. You don't want to turtle and just run the ball into the
Right.
line and then punt. But when you were in that spot where it's like a minute and a half left and you can literally just do the math and be like, how can we get them to have no timeouts?
Right.
Because it's going to be a lot harder. And it ended up costing them the game.
They ran 15 plays.
Yeah.
I
know.
So, yeah, they had a minute 26 when they got the ball back.
It's crazy.
And they would have had one fewer timeout or 40 seconds less than that. So what is that? That's 46 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good math.
It's crazy.
What about Sam Hartman? Pretty boy? Too pretty to play
He is
football?
hot. He is
He
hot.
should have
Beautiful.
that running play in the first half. If he had cut back a little bit, extended the ball.
Listen, he wasn't
they get the
built
first
to
down.
run. Sam was built to throw.
But soft.
I will no, not soft. He was in that slow mesh at Wake. That's
Yeah, no,
Wa-
that one scared the slow mesh scared the
watch
fuck out of me.
watch Sam Hartman
Yeah.
versus say a young college quarterback. Like Sam Hartman, there could be a defender 3 inches from his face. He's just standing there ready to throw the ball. And you see like a freshman, they're bailing, they're freaking out. Like he does not care. He will stand there and get clobbered and still get the ball away.
The slow mesh at Wake is like the scariest offense.
Well,
to
I
watch, 'cause
asked
they would
Mitch-
just be like, dude, get rid of the ball. What are you doing?
I asked Mitch Griffiths, who's their new starting quarterback, like, how do you deal with that? He's like, you just get used to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, but there's 300-pound dudes like 5 inches from your face.
Right.
He's like, nah, it's fine.
And they would just wait till the very last second. So Notre Dame, let's finish with Notre Dame in this. That felt like it could have been obviously the biggest win for Marcus Freeman. It also could have been like not a passing of the torch, but it does feel Ohio State has been in that upper echelon of programs, Notre Dame right below it, where it's like Notre Dame's very good year in and year out, but they can't beat the top 4 or 5 programs in the country, and that was their moment to do it. They can still go to the playoff if they run the table. What do you think in terms of Notre Dame, your vibe of being around the program, like headed in the right direction, or was that one where it's like, fuck, the same old, like can't beat the big dogs?
No, they're definitely headed in the right direction. I think getting Sam helps in that respect. But, I mean, elite offensive line. Their freshman running backs are really good. Like they and then they have some freshman receivers that can play. Marcus Freeman, since he's gotten there, has upgraded the talent. They've got to upgrade a little more on the D-line. I think that's the really important place that they're missing right now, where they're pretty good, but they could be really good. But I feel like they are deeper and more talented than they ever were in the Brian Kelly era.
Yeah.
And it feels like the NIL era and Freeman just make that easier to do than it used to be, because they're a transfer destination as well as for the grad transfers.
Yeah.
Because guys who've been in college 3-4 years are smart, and they look at the big picture and they say, oh my God, if I'm a star at Notre Dame, I'm going to make bank.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to go there. You don't want to go to Notre Dame to have fun. You're like your freshman sophomore year.
Yeah.
It's like grad school.
You get an instant job.
college football.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're Notre Dame. Yeah. And Sam Hartman obviously changed it, because my theory with Notre Dame was they've just never been able to get that elite quarterback.
Right.
And now they have it. So let's see if they can run the table. It's fun when Notre Dame's in the mix. So I have another program, Alabama. We buried Alabama.
Yep.
Unfortunately for us, we didn't look at the schedule, because they are going to win the SEC West.
LSU is going to give them a little challenge.
Yeah,
that's in Tuscaloosa.
Their 2 hardest games are Tennessee bye week, LSU, both at Tuscaloosa.
Right.
What's going on in Alabama? I went to the game against Texas, and the guys I was in their suite, and they were just like, how do we not have a quarterback? This is crazy. What's going on program wise for Alabama?
They didn't have a quarterback. The offensive line isn't as good as it usually is. That's really it.
Yeah.
Right there, because in a nutshell. And now that they've decided on Jalen Milroe as their quarterback, and they're actually building an offense around him, running plays that work for him, I think that's going to help them going forward. Because I think what they were doing early in the season is, well, we don't know if it's going to be Milroe or Ty Simpson or Tyler Buckner, so we're going to call an offense that would kind of work for all of them. It doesn't work. And it's clear Simpson and Buckner aren't really the guys. So now you use Milroe, who is a very athletic guy, very fast, good runner, but he throws a great deep ball. The problem with him is intermediate stuff. So figure out how to work that best. You've got a good defense. And then if the offensive line does get better, your backs are very good. And you keep, like against Ole Miss, they were not having the greatest success running the ball, but they kept running the ball.
Right.
And Ole Miss never could take advantage of that. So against other teams, they're going to have success running the ball, and it's going to look a lot like the Alabama of old, where they just steamrolled you, and it wasn't like you don't get completely blown out. You get beat like 28-7, but it's going to feel like you were hopeless the entire game.
You're not going to have the ball at all. Yeah. So Lane Kiffin might have also worked himself into a shoot. Did you hear what he said about the defense?
I loved it.
I mean, he said, like, I saw something in the defense. That's not their coordinator calling the plays. It's somebody else. I can see his fingerprints all over.
He does it every year.
It's what we like
too.
to call throwing a lit match into the Alabama football facility.
Not a smart idea.
No. And so Yeah, he said, "Oh, it looks like Travaris Robinson, who we played against when he was at South Carolina, not Kevin Steele, who we played against when he was at Auburn." Nick came back on Monday, and he's like, Mississippi State, we feel like they're a bigger challenge than the last game we played because they're aggressive on defense. And it's just like, twist the knife.
I love that Lane Kiffin does this every Alabama week where he'll talk some shit, but then he'll also be like, Nick Saban's the GOAT.
Yeah.
So he basically walks away a win-win. It's either he's talk shitting, back it up, or he lost to the GOAT.
Yeah, but we know he likes to troll them.
Yeah.
But you got to win.
You got to win
one.
one. You got to win one.
It's getting the stat I saw. What is it? 1 in 18 against teams that eventually won 9 games.
Yeah.
So you got to start beating those teams.
I don't get why he does it. It's almost like he's like, I'm not afraid to punch a hornet's nest again. Like, it's the dumbest thing ever. It's one thing to say it, back it up.
Well, and that style isn't really built to beat Alabama. That offense they play, you got to be perfect almost to beat Alabama with that. So, and I saw their fans are like, well, how do we approach this game differently? You don't, because this is who you are.
Right.
But the problem is you're a bad style matchup for Alabama.
Yeah.
Texas. Let's stay in the SEC.
Yeah.
Texas. We kind of talked ourselves out of Texas a little bit by the transitive property of Alabama having a down game against USF. We're like, wait, did we Texas back ourselves after that win against Alabama? But now, since it looks like Alabama's good, I think the pendulum for us has swung back. Now Texas is legit again.
Yep.
You think they're legit college football playoff legit?
I think they're very good. Now, they've got to beat Oklahoma, but I look at what they did against Baylor, and I almost am more impressed with that than I am with Alabama, because Texas always got up for those games like Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It was the games that they're supposed to win that they come out flat, but they kicked the crap out of Baylor. And like this week, they got an undefeated Kansas coming in. Jalen Daniels looks amazing, but this is a team, and it kind of started at the end of last year with Kansas, where Texas started playing those games like they meant something.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't think they're going to take Kansas lightly.
They used to. Texas used to always overlook Kansas.
They lost to them 2 years ago.
Yep.
They lost to them, Charlie Strong's last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it is possible, but I just think they're going to keep showing up. And the difference with Texas this year versus Texas really since 2009 is there are legitimate NFL players on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Tavondre Sweat, Byron Murphy, Alfred Collins on that D-line. Those guys are going to be top 3 round picks in the NFL.
Yeah.
Their left tackle, Kelvin Banks, he's going to be a first-round pick in 2025. There's legit NFL talent on the rest of the offensive line. JT Sanders, a tight end, is usually the best skill position player on the field. Like, that's not what they've had. They always got great recruits, but they never developed them in anything. Now they've developed them, and these dudes can play.
Yeah.
So does a one-loss Texas team, do they make the college football playoff?
Ooh.
I think so. It really depends on what happens everywhere else.
It happens to Pac-12, I feel like, is the big question mark.
Listen, the Pac-12 is so deep.
It's crazy.
That a 12-1 Pac-12 champ better make the playoffs.
Better.
Yeah.
Because they'll cannibalize themselves.
Oh, yeah.
But it is crazy how good the Pac-12 is.
It's awesome to see and sucks to see at the same time.
I know.
Because this is it. But Washington is just demolishing everyone they played. They're so much fun.
Yeah, I did. It was probably a mistake. But you know what I did? I looked at their schedule and I was like, oh, they don't have to go to Utah. That was it.
I picked Oregon to win the league, and I'm sticking by that. Now, I could be proven hilariously wrong when they go to Seattle, but I think that's going to be it was a great game last year.
Yeah, it was a great game last year.
And so Utah is the wild card in that, because what happens if Cam Rising comes back? Because their defense is good enough to play with anybody, but their offense will not be able to hold up against Oregon or USC or Washington unless Cam Rising.
Kyle Whittingham said after the UCLA game, he said that's the best my defense ever played. And he's been there a long-ass time with some really good defenses.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 7-7 game if not for a pick 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they
suffocated him.
And that UCLA team can move the ball.
Yeah.
So, I'm just it really sucks that this is it, because this is what they were pointing toward. This is what they've been working toward.
I know.
And then, I don't think this is going to be as fun with Utah trying to win the Big 12 title, and with Washington and Oregon trying to, they'll play each other, but it's for wherever they are within the Big 10,
like
relative to Ohio State and Penn State. I don't know how much fun that's going to be.
Counterpoint, the Big Ten's back because as of the standings right now, I think 6 out of the top 9 teams are Big Ten teams or future Big Ten teams.
The ones they grabbed?
Yeah.
Because even UCLA is better
than
they have been. But the other 3 that they're grabbing from the Pac-12 are awesome. And probably will say that, like, obviously Caleb Williams won't play in the Big Ten, but Lincoln always has a quarterback.
Yeah.
I trust Dan Lanning to stock the roster at Oregon. Kalen DeBoer, because they're moving to the Big Ten, I don't know that anybody's going to try to poach him from Washington.
Right.
I think now he can be at Washington as long as he wants and not feel like, oh, there's somewhere else out there where I have a better chance to win a national title.
Yeah.
We got to go to a game at Washington, too. It's so fun.
It's
The
beautiful.
stadium's beautiful.
Yeah.
Tailgate scene is actually very underrated.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Seattle. They got you can take the boats in after sailgating.
Mm-hmm.
You got the rowing team, like picks you up and rows you to the stadium. It's a lot like SEC football in terms of the tailgate scene.
Yep.
It's just different types of fish.
Well,
they got
exactly.
salmon and catfish.
Yeah,
you're
crawfish.
You're moving away from redfish and red snapper and all that. But yeah, no, I think Washington is so much fun, and I'm so happy for Michael Penix Jr. because this is a guy who had 3 season-ending injuries at Indiana, and you thought, oh, he's never going to be able to really have a good college career. And he's been incredible.
Yeah, he's been insane. Their offense is insane. So if you had to predict right now who's coming out of the Pac-12, because it is all these teams are going to have to play each other. I think USC obviously has a little bit easier because they don't have to play the entire whatever it is North.
Yeah.
But who do you have coming out of the Pac-12?
I've still got Oregon.
Yeah.
I like them because I like the way they're built on the lines of scrimmage. It started with Cristobal, but then Lanning has come in and just improved it. You know, they went and got Josh Connerly away from USC as a 5-star recruit. It came down to them in Oregon. He's their left tackle now. They go get Jordan Birch out of the transfer portal, former 5-star guy who was at South Carolina. Like, I like when people have special offensive and defensive linemen. My motto is the people with the best big people always win.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with Oregon.
Okay, I like that. The Pac-12. I mean, we didn't even mention Washington State is electric. Cam Ward is awesome.
Yeah,
I wasn't even bummed out when I was bummed out that the Badgers lost to Washington State, but I also it was different than last year. I respected the fuck out of Washington. I knew they were a really good team.
I was driving to South Bend on Friday night from here, and I almost texted you as Wisconsin's beating up on Purdue to say, maybe Washington State's just a wagon.
They are. Yeah, like I seriously don't see that as a bad lot. Like, they are a very, very good team, and Cam Ward is a problem. Like, he's a problem to guard.
Yeah, and Jake Dickert's done a great job there. And I appreciate that he keeps putting the screws to everybody like, hey, you left us behind, but look at what we do.
Yeah.
Look at how we show up. Look at how we play. Look at our fan base. And I don't know that it amounts to anything tangible in terms of conference affiliation, but I am enjoying them rubbing everybody's face in it.
What are they going to do? Are they going to – I mean, the smart move would be keep the Pac-12 brand and just make the Mountain West the Pac-12.
That's what I've been saying since all that happened, since you saw Cal and Stanford go to the ACC, is – yeah, you keep the Pac-12 name, intellectual property, NCAA tournament money, all that stuff, and then you merge with the Mountain West, let the Mountain West people run it, but you call it the Pac-14 or whatever because the brand's stronger.
Right.
And it is their brand. Like, they went to court, and the other Pac-12 schools can't do squat. Like, they have basically they are the board of directors.
Yeah,
of
it's funny
schools.
that the other schools would be like, no, you can't have this after they leave.
They were going to be like, we're going to take a little bit of money to help ourselves move into these new conferences.
No, absolutely
Washington
not. Go
State and
fuck
Oregon State are like, no,
This is like
absolutely
Dave
not.
and Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. they should get the merch rights to
They
the
should.
Pac-12.
What
We'll do
if
the
Dave just
t-shirts.
play like the first game of the Pac-12 season next year is just Dave on a football field? That's what they. But the law that I'm hoping for that would be so funny is I saw someone tweeted out. I can't remember who it was, but basically Washington State and Oregon State have 2 years.
They could
where
do
they
this.
could just have a Pac-2.
Yes.
For 2 years,
Yes.
and no one could do anything.
So
about it.
Does the winner get an automatic berth?
No.
Oh.
And like in NCAA parlance, you do it based on, do you get a bid to the basketball tournament? You actually have to have 5 teams to get the automatic bid to the basketball tournament. So they'd have to do something. But I would love it if they just were the you got to be the 2-pack.
Yeah,
you got to be the
2-pack,
2-pack.
that's
Like,
right. 2-pack.
like just have the 2-pack hologram as your commissioner.
Yeah, just play like 5 times.
Yes.
That would be
football's
great.
about
No,
changes.
just play once,
Yeah.
but in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Why not?
Oh, that'd be so funny.
Put, like,
well,
put the
Gonzaga-
Pac-12 championship field out in Vegas and
Yes.
just play on it.
Yes.
Gonzaga now is playing in a real conference.
Yes.
So congratulations to them. We're going to get back to Andy in a second. He's brought to you by our good friends over at The Farmer's Dog. I love The Farmer's Dog. Blake absolutely loves The Farmer's Dog. He houses his food. He's never been this excited to eat. And he's doing great, putting on weight, getting big, growing strong, growing healthy. And I think that The Farmer's Dog has a lot to do with it. The results of switching your dog's food from kibble to fresh can seem like magic. When a senior dog starts acting like a puppy again and the pickiest of eaters can't wait for dinner time, you might think some spells were cast. True story, Blake would eat like maybe a quarter of his dinner. Then he'd wander around the house for a little bit, get disinterested. I'd have to lead him back. Not anymore. He loves his Farmer's Dog food, eats it all in one sitting. The Farmer's Dog doesn't use any sorcery or secret ingredients to make their fresh food. They just use science. But the Farmer's Dog makes and delivers fresh, healthy dog food. It's developed by vets, it's nutritionally balanced, and it's made from real, healthy ingredients to human food safety standards. It's the best option for dogs at all life stages because it's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's just real, healthy food. Traditional dry and wet food dog options are highly processed, can use much lower quality ingredients than they claim to, and they're extremely difficult to portion accurately. The Farmer's Dog isn't just fresh, high-quality food. They also send the food pre-portioned specifically for your dog based on their unique nutritional needs. It's super easy. It just arrives at my door. I don't have to worry about monitoring the dog food bag, seeing when he's about to run out, going out to the store, getting new dog food, driving back with it. Don't have to worry about any of that stuff with the Farmer's Dog. They send it directly to your door, and it's always on time. A fresh diet has been found to have all sorts of benefits, from healthier coat and skin to better breath, even easier digestion and smaller, better poops. His poops are great, super easy to pick up. A healthy diet isn't just important for humans, it's also important for dogs. It doesn't matter if they're young or old, it's always the right time to begin investing in their health. Help them live a healthy, happy, and full life along with you. And you can get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/PMT. That's 50% off, half off, plus you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/PMT and boom, 50% off. That's thefarmersdog.com/PMT. And now more Andy Staples. All right, so give us your Final Four, because before the season started, you had Colorado in all four spots.
I did.
So,
I was in on
now?
Dion early. No, the one I had in one of my four spots was Clemson. I am ashamed to say, and then they lost to Duke, and they put up a fight against Florida State,
They're
but
frisky.
yeah, they're going to need to retool their strategy.
I had a question about
Yeah, go
Clemson.
ahead.
At what point does Dabo, like Keon Coleman from Florida State, who lit up LSU, who is a transfer from Michigan State, at what point does Dabo watch these guys beat him and he's like, hey, this transfer portal thing, that might actually be an asset?
I will give you an even better example of that. What if Keon Coleman were on Clemson instead of Florida State in that game? Who wins the game?
Clemson.
Exactly.
Easily.
One player.
Yes.
And so with Dabo, I know he doesn't want to do it. Continuity is something that they used to their benefit for a long time. They had a period of 4 years where they only lost 7 players to attrition. So like getting kicked off the team or just leaving. And that's why they were winning so much. But the world has changed. Like, if you make recruiting mistakes, you can't cover them. You have to develop somebody out of that if you're not going to just grab out of the portal. They could still do this where, they have people who leave because they're not playing very much. So they have the spots. So 3-4 spots a year.
Right.
Imagine if Clemson, with all these future NFL players, says, hey, want to fill our one gaping hole here? Everybody in the portal is going to want to be there.
Right.
So I don't think he has to change that much. I think it's doable. It's just not fixable this year.
It's also insane to me that you wouldn't use the portal specifically for the offensive line, because you can go out and get like a 23-year-old.
Yes.
Who's got man strength.
A grown-ass man
and who's played
will
college
beat a boy
football.
most times.
Right. And it's like, why wouldn't you do that instead of getting a kid who, you'll project to be a great offensive lineman, but he's probably 40 pounds too light when he comes on campus. Like, these are the things that it feels very easy, but Dabo is resistant to change.
Yeah, because he worries he's going to mess up the culture and the chemistry of the team. But I think if it's 1 or 2, 3 guys a year in really key spots, I don't think you're messing anything up.
Right.
Because that type of person, and you'll have your choice. You can pick someone who's about what you want them to be about. Yeah.
You know what else helps the culture is winning football games.
That helps too.
And playing in big football games.
Yes.
That will bring the guys together nicely, I think.
But so my other 3 of my 4 still kicking. Georgia was 1, which we'll see. I mean, they're not going to lose until the SEC championship game. I don't think they're going to be challenged. I saw that. I watched the halftime video from the South Carolina game. They're down 14-3, and Carson Beck's just winking at the camera like, nope, they're not getting beat. So I have Penn State coming out of Big Ten.
I like that. I think their defense is out of this world good.
Yeah. And then I still, now I don't know. I had Oregon, but now I don't know if I should have Texas there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like, I find it very hard to wrap my brain around that I have become a believer in Texas this quickly, because I was a big Texas skeptic for a long, long time. But again, going back to the best big people win theory, that's Texas right now.
It sucks we don't have a 12-team playoff this year. This is the year.
Yeah, it would be
Because
awesome.
you have the teams that all will, like, there will be a 2-loss team probably out of the Pac-12 or even the Big Ten where you're like, that team could compete for a national title.
And we're going to do this on the show every Monday for the rest of the year, where we project what the 12-team playoff would look like. And so I had Penn State winning the Big Ten, and I had Michigan and Ohio State both also making it. I had like a Michigan-Alabama first-round matchup in Ann Arbor. I mean, come on.
I'm so dumb. I fucking love fake brackets.
Yes.
You could do a fake
they're the
bracket
best.
across any sport, and I will just imagine that game in my head and be like, it's like the high-speed rail map that goes viral all the time.
Yes.
It's like looking at it and be like, oh, that'd be sweet.
I could get from New York to D.C. in an hour and a half.
And you know what's going to happen next year, because we've had years like this where it's like there's 2 great teams and everyone else sucks. Next year we'll probably have where it's like, why are we doing a 12-team playoff? Like the 12th team sucks and all that. This is the year. It's much like the Pac-12. Our timing is off.
My favorite is everybody just getting pissed at me. Why is Fresno State in there? I'm like, because somebody has to be in there from the group of 5.
I would love to see Fresno State play.
I would too. They've
been awesome.
They shut out Arizona State,
I
and
know.
USC did not.
Yeah, they have been lights out. All right, so I mean, this has been a great college football season. We do want to talk about Colorado now. I wasn't surprised by the Deion hate that's coming,
right?
And it's coming hard and fast right now. And he even said he did a little bit of a to go to college basketball. He did a little bit of a Dan Hurley, like, come get us now because we're never going to be this bad.
I appreciated that.
I like that a lot. But overall, like the sentiment, you talk to coaches, you talk to administrators. How does everyone feel about Colorado? Is it a rising tides lifts all boats, or are people like, we kind of hate this guy?
No, they like him now.
Okay.
They realize they like him. There was a lot of kind of side-eyeing of Deion throughout the offseason because of the way he handled the roster flip.
Yeah.
They did not like him kicking people off the team. I think they didn't like him kicking people off the team on camera because everybody else does that.
That's right. He said the quiet part out
Except
loud.
Dabo.
Right. Yeah.
This happens. This happens across the sport.
Yeah.
Deion was just upfront and very, very blunt, maybe overly blunt about it.
Yeah.
Like making it very clear from his first day there, like, you guys are not going to be here.
But here's the thing. On Saturday, on NBC, in prime time, there was an Ohio State Notre Dame game that came down to the final play. More people watched a dog shit Oregon-Colorado game that was over on the first play.
Yep.
More people watched that than the Notre Dame-Ohio State game.
I was wrong. I got to give Casey credit. She said she predicted
Yeah,
that.
she did.
And I was like, no way.
Yeah, she was our guest picker on my show last week, and she said that on my show, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I had the same reaction. I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then the ratings come out, and it's like, how is this possible?
Well, and imagine this week.
Yeah.
Big noon kickoff. So 10 a.m. local.
I know.
They're going to be the wake and bake factor in Boulder is going to be incredible.
Yep.
But Caleb Williams against this offense or against this defense, and now Shedeur Sanders should be able to do a little better against USC's defense than he did against Oregon. So, I think for college football, it would be great if USC struggles with Colorado. If Colorado gives them a game, that is great for the sport. If USC beats them 55-10, then we may not pay much attention to Colorado the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Now, I agree with Deion. They will be much better.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those things where the casual fan may sort of disappear for a little while, but they're still working. And here's the thing about Deion, and this is the part I don't think the haters of Deion get. Deion is one of the few people who is that level of a former player, who is willing to do the things you have to do and work the way you have to work to be a good college head coach.
Yeah.
He's good at talent acquisition. He's good at motivation. And he's good at organization / hiring assistants. Do you know who I just described? Urban Meyer and Dabo Swinney.
I was going to say, not Herm Edwards.
No, but Urban Meyer and Dabo Swinney, neither of whom were primary play callers at any stretch before they became head coaches and won national titles because they're great at getting good players, great at motivating them, and they're great at hiring assistants.
Shout out my guy, Sean Lewis.
That's exactly right.
Wisconsin Badger, yeah.
Exactly right. And Sean Lewis can turn this into a better head coaching job than he would have gotten as Kent State's head coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, like, I did a story with Sean last year when they were in that stretch. He was Kent State's head coach, and they had a stretch where they had to play at Washington, at Oklahoma, at Georgia. So they were always beat to hell by the time they got to MAC play. And everybody knew he was a good coach, but you could never sell that hire if you're a Power 5 program because they were never going to have the right record for it. If he's the OC at Colorado and he's masking their deficiencies while also creating an offense that is functional against decent defenses, everybody notices that.
And he goes lightning fast. That was his thing at Kent State.
What does Colorado have to do to get better next year? Bigger people on defense?
It's all the big people.
Yeah,
offensive line.
But here's the thing. Deion already started that. So that Colorado State game, when they got Lil Wayne leading them out of the tunnel, when they got the rock there, they had like an Alabama D-tackle commit. They had, big-time offensive line recruits there. And he's telling him, you can play next year. And the difference between them and the places those guys normally go, Alabama, Ohio State, LSU, is you can't play right away, probably at Alabama, Ohio State, or LSU. You're going to have to work your way into it. At Colorado, you can step right in and play, and you may struggle a little bit, but if you're that talented, you're going to be pretty good by the end of the season.
And I still think Deion, the ace up his sleeve that he has that no one else has is he was, like, if you watched his career, especially at Florida State and coming out of the draft, he was NIL before NIL.
Oh,
being
yeah.
Like,
Can you even
player
imagine?
first, and, I need to be paid, and the cornerback position doesn't get talked about. So he can sit in all these living rooms and be like, my goal is to get your kid to the league and to get him paid.
And that's the thing I don't think people understand, because the people who don't like Deion think he's just doing this for attention. He could get attention doing anything.
Right.
He wants to be a coach, and he wants to be a good one.
He started at high school level.
Yeah.
Went to Jackson State.
And it's funny because everyone's like, how come you guys never talk about Prime Prep? I'm like, Prime Prep got dissected. Deion shouldn't run a school.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, Deion shouldn't be the president of the University of Colorado. I think we learned that.
Yes.
But he can coach the football team there.
Yeah. What do you think about members of the media calling him Coach Prime?
So
do you call him Coach Prime?
It's a little weird.
That
part I agree
I don't
with.
know what I don't know what I'd call him.
On the
Would I call-
broadcast.
Yeah, Coach.
It's weird.
Would I call him Neon? There's some coaches I call Coach, and then there's some coaches I call by their first, and then there's no rhyme or reason to it, because sometimes, like, if they're like, Marcus Freeman's younger than me, so I'm not going to call him Coach. Like, he's Marcus. But some of the older guys, I'm just like, well, you look like somebody who might have coached me back in the day.
Yeah.
So I call it. And then, so I grew up in a house with a dad who was a high school assistant coach. And so I was around high school football practices growing up. And those people, all of them call each other coach.
Yeah.
Like, they don't use names. And sometimes they just speak in the language of coach. Like, it's sort of like I am Groot.
Yeah.
Basically, based on tone, you know what they're saying? Coach.
Coach.
Yeah.
Coach. So it's hard
guys
for me.
Talking about culture all the time.
The problem with Deion is that he's a first name guy. He's like
Right.
Shaq. Like, when you say Coach Sanders, I'm like, who are you talking about?
How about Prime? What if I just called him Prime? Do you think that would make him mad?
I think he should just be Coach Deion. Because Deion is what, like, when you say Deion, you think of Deion Sanders.
Absolutely.
But you don't think of his last name. When you say Shaq, you think of Shaquille O'Neal. Like, if Shaq was a coach, Coach O'Neal would sound weird.
That would sound very strange.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's a first name guy.
Coach Diesel?
Coach
I like
Diesel,
that.
yeah.
I had a friend that wanted to name his son Coach, because then they get
sick.
immediate respect from everybody that they talk to.
Oh, I don't know. I like it when they name him like president.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect one, or colonel.
Yeah, give him the
Yes.
title, like a military title.
I like
Mr.
that.
Florida State had a guy named Mr. Alexander. That's the ultimate in respect. You're just always Mr.
Yeah, and the
Alexander.
coach's wife is always Miss, and then the first name, whatever that might be. All right, so this weekend we got some good games. LSU, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Ole
Can
Miss.
Lane win one of those?
Yeah, I don't know. If he can.
It's weird. I've almost given up trying to predict what LSU will do, because I thought they'd struggle in Starkville, and they went and just bombed Mississippi State. And they're like, oh, well, Arkansas just lost to BYU. They're going to struggle covering these LSU receivers. They did. but I didn't think Arkansas would be able to score on LSU the way they were, and that was just a back and forth thing. So I think LSU should be able to win this game. I think they're just better up front than Ole Miss, but again, it seems like everything I pick with LSU is wrong.
Yeah. What about go ahead.
I was going to say the battle of the nerds, Notre Dame Duke.
Yes.
Which asshole fan base is going to be happier this weekend?
See, I don't feel like Duke football fans are like that.
They're
No,
the
I
same
don't.
people.
Duke-
They're the same.
they
people.
are
They
not
are,
the
but they
same
aren't.
people.
This is what I struggle with. It's like when LeBron was in Cleveland. I was like, no, Cavs fans and Browns fans aren't the same.
No, they're not the same.
They are,
thing.
but they aren't.
Yeah, no, Duke basketball is like I imagine Duke basketball fans as a Duke basketball fan has a Duke sticker, a New York Yankees sticker, and an Alabama sticker on his car at the same time.
It's actually Hank, and he's a Duke Patriots fan and a Cowboys.
So
fan.
it's just it's a star, a lighthouse, and yeah. I had to get the lighthouse. I'm sorry. I don't know how much more lighthouse talk there will be on this
there's
episode.
This is
There's
Lighthouse
a lot.
Wednesday.
Yeah, this is.
So, but no, so I think the Duke, like I love the Duke football story because I think Mike Elko's done a great job. Riley Leonard is awesome. This is not the week they want to be playing Notre Dame. Like they were probably praying that Notre Dame stopped Ohio State and was going to come in all fat and happy. Because I was at South Bend yesterday. I talked to Audric Estime last night. Like they are bounced back.
Yeah.
And they're pissed.
Pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to get Holtz to give him a pregame speech.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Duke is. I think he can call Duke soft, although Duke's not soft.
No, they're not.
We saw them play Clemson. They ain't soft.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So my last question, I had the rowback question, rhoback.com. Use promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, everything. Rhoback.com, promo code TAKE. Are you wearing rowback right now?
I am.
You are. You are a rowback
Performance
athlete.
hoodie, baby.
Yes. Okay. So we talked about all the big dogs. What's a team that you've got your eye on that you're like, ooh, this could be something. Something's happening here. They might not make the college football playoff, but we could be talking about them at the end of the season as either a spoiler or 10-win team, New Year's Day, Day Bowl, like something like that.
Miami.
Oh, yeah. Miami's been
I'll go back to my big people thing. Like, go to the beginning of the season, ACC Media Days, Mario Cristobal is there, and he's usually pretty hard on his offensive line. Like, he doesn't say nice things about his offensive line unless he feels really good about it, and he was singing the praises.
Yeah.
And then you saw them against A&M, and they protected Tyler Van Dyke very well. They've been able to run the ball on everybody. And, like, because I couldn't figure out with A&M, could they not get a pass rush going? Could they not tackle? Or was it maybe Miami's just pretty good? And then you see A&M against Auburn, and they just shut Auburn down.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe Miami's pretty good. So Miami's got Florida State, obviously still. There's a Miami-North Carolina game that could be a lot of fun with Drake May. So, yeah, Francis Maui-Noah. That's the name you need to know. The right tackle from Miami. He's a true freshman. Mario Cristobal says he has the greatest muscle density of any offensive lineman that has ever come through Miami, which I actually believe Mario Cristobal probably keeps that stat.
That's a great quote.
I love it when coaches talk about players like they're horses.
Yeah. The cupboard was bare in Miami when he got there. Like, they did not have dudes.
Well, they've got a tackle who's been hurt, who started, I believe, 36 games in his career. And once he comes back, that's great for depth, but they're doing great.
Yeah.
That group has improved quite a bit. And if you can improve on the line of scrimmage that dramatically, you're a very different team than what we saw last year. And like Miami, they got their asses beat by Florida State last year. That was embarrassing. I don't think they're that team anymore.
I love it. Miami being back is a great thing for college football.
I got one last question. Who do you think the best team, just off the top of your head, in the Sun Belt Conference is this year? Sun Belt. When you think Sun Belt,
well, PFT, I know you're obviously talking about Sean Elliott's Georgia State Panthers there with
overrated.
They got Chad Staggs, who'd been the DC at Coastal Carolina for a while.
I was thinking about that.
I know my Sun Belt ball. Of course, it's JMU.
That's right.
And the NCAA is still screwing them.
It's fucked up. They could go undefeated this year and they won't get a bowl invite.
It's wrong.
It's nuts.
It's wrong.
It's very,
very
stupid.
party though.
It's very, very stupid. Yeah, I mean, this college football season, I just am so happy that it feels like we have so many good quarterbacks too. Like, I mean, the Pac-12 alone.
But I think we're going to get this from now on.
Because guys transferring
in NIL, like Sam Hartman, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix Jr. all could be in the NFL right now. They probably were going to make the same amount of money or more going back to college.
Right.
And so you see them go back for another year. I don't know that it changes their draft stock. Like Michael Penix's medicals will be what they will be.
Right.
But he will be a legend at Washington forever.
Right. I like this speech because everyone, there's a lot of older college football fans that have the hand wringing about the NIL and the game has changed, transfer portal. We are going to get to see guys. I've told this story before, but it really hit me when week 1, I bet on Louisiana Tech and I turn on the game and I fucking bet on Hank Bachmeier. I was like, what the fuck? How do I get away from this guy? But at least I know the names and it's kind of cool.
Well, and we're going to see it in college basketball. I know you're a big college basketball guy. You're going to see more people stay, and kind of like when we were kids, when we actually knew who was on each team.
Right, right.
Football is going to be even more like that. The difference is we may not know who's on each team. We're going to know the players,
right,
and they're going to pop around.
They're on.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Like quarterbacks, the quarterback dad complex, they always, they make them do 8th grade twice so that they're the right age and all that. You got to make sure they graduate in 3 years.
Yeah.
That way you get that free transfer, and then you get unlimited transfers, so you can JT Daniels it and go to 4 different schools if you need to.
Now he's everywhere.
Years,
yeah. No, I like seeing even the Badgers with Tanner Mordecai. It's fun watching him play. I knew he was good watching him at SMU, and now he's fun.
Big Cat, I'm telling you right now, they get a little more team speed in there.
Yeah.
And I know Luke Fickell's going to do that. I know that's going to be a priority in the offseason. That offense is going to rip.
I got ahead of myself in the preseason. Shocker for anyone who listens to this show. I would never do that. But I've taken a longer term approach where it's you can't, even like a Dion who went 3-0, but you can see that it's not, you can't flip an entire team and make them at these, big dog level.
Here's the
right
deal.
away.
Tamper with the best slot receiver on every Sun Belt team.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And just collect.
Just be like, hey, you ever think you want to make up a t-shirt?
Because those dudes are fast.
They're get on the bar.
They're probably Dree Archer played in the MAC, but he's from Florida. But there's a Dree Archer out there,
right,
who could be a star in that offense at Wisconsin.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You ever think about making some t-shirts? Yeah. I did that to Caleb Williams, probably the most regrettable deal ever. I was like, dude, we could make so many good t-shirts. So didn't respond.
Caleb Williams, people don't understand, Caleb Williams' parents have been setting him up to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft since he was 8 years old.
Do they realize that it's going to be the Bears?
I think they're okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I know that they threw out there that he might stay.
I spent all summer trying not to text you.
Yeah.
I don't think the Fields thing is going to work out.
No,
I don't want to burst your balloon. No. This is
already burst
before all that.
Yeah.
But no, he's just trying not to play in the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Because the Cardinals, they drafted Josh Rosen, threw him in the trash. They draft Kyler, and they're already abandoning and tanking. So it will be the most hilarious thing in the world if the Bears, thanks to trading for that Panthers pick, and they get him.
Yeah.
Because the Cardinals are trying to suck and not doing as good a job as the Bears.
Get me excited. how can't miss is Caleb Williams?
Is the most can't miss since Trevor Lawrence or Andrew Luck.
Okay.
Because the man makes magic.
Yeah.
And the things that he can do that are magical are not things that you can't do in the NFL.
Right.
Because you'll see quarterbacks in college who do amazing things, but you're like, oh, the first time he gets hit by NFL players, he's gonna break in half.
Right.
Caleb Williams is a eyes downfield.
Yep.
The things I do that are magic are in service of throwing the ball down the field.
Right. It's Mahomes-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very similar, different arm angles, that sort of thing. And here's the thing: whoever gets the number 2 pick,
also the Bears.
Drake May. Well, they should draft.
We should draft
both and have a competition.
I'm saying that. Run 2 quarterbacks in the same offense.
Yeah, because Drake May is going to be good in the NFL too.
Do the old Lloyd Carr.
Yeah.
Just switch back and forth.
Oh, it is very exciting to see this because these two are so much fun to watch. And any other year, if Caleb Williams wasn't there, Drake May would be so obviously the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
But Caleb is so I knew when Caleb was a freshman at Oklahoma, that game against Kansas where there's the 4th down play and his back's got the ball, but he's not to the line to gain yet. And Caleb just steals it from him.
Yes.
He just has these instincts that nobody else has.
Yeah, special.
Yeah.
He's special. Okay, I'm excited now. Well, Andy, everyone go check out Andy on 3 Network. You can find him on YouTube, podcasts. How many podcasts a week are you doing? 3? 4?
6 right now.
6?
Yeah, during the season.
Holy shit.
We don't play around.
Damn.
I don't know. I would talk about this with my friends anyway, so I may as well just turn the mic on.
Do you look at having conversations with people like this is wasted time right now?
Exactly. I could be podcasting. We could be recording this.
These words could be monetized.
Yes, I'm very transactional like that.
Do you ever find yourself missing Ari reminding you that stars matter?
Oh yeah, Ari Wasserman, my former co-host at The Athletic, always reminded me of stories. But here's the thing. Here's what people don't get about that. When I got hired at Sports Illustrated in 2008, it was to cover recruiting.
Right.
So I've always known that stars matter.
But to his credit, he
branded it well.
It's funny that people are now figuring it out. Like, hey, the best recruiting class will be the team that wins the national
What I
title.
love is when people get so mad about it.
I know.
People want in their minds to believe that a team full of gritty 3 stars can win on heart alone.
Yep.
Stars
Absolutely
matter.
not.
Stars matter.
Give me a 6'7", 350-pound guy who played basketball until his junior year of high school and only played football for a year, but now he's a third-year junior and he's dominating everyone.
Yeah.
Or like right after the draft when they talk about how many 3 stars there were, and it's like, yeah, but like 90% of the 5 stars got drafted.
Right. There's 32 5 stars a year, and there's 2,000 3 stars a year.
Right.
Who's in charge of the star system?
Well, our guy is Charles Power at On 3. He's the one who ultimately decides what stars you get and the politics of all that.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for those guys
sure.
because and they're trying their best, but they've got the players hitting them up, the parents hitting them up, the coaches hitting them up. It's a weird deal. It's such a weird little subsection of sports that people who love college football understand and no one else knows exists.
Yeah.
But it's the most intense because you get that dude who is convinced he's a 5-star and he can't get that 5th star. He will be just all over you until you get it. And I feel for those guys because they are fielding those phone calls and those DMs constantly.
Just constant links to their huddle tapes and all that shit. Yeah.
Well, I get the huddle tapes sometimes too. And that's fun because like, when I was at Florida, Jacquez Green was there, and Jacquez is a high school coach in Bradenton, Florida now. He's got a kid named Ian, who I can't remember his last name, but his nickname is Big Chicken. He's a D tackle.
I like that.
And I don't know I don't know where he falls in the star system. I think he's younger anyway, but I just love that he's named Big Chicken and he's this giant dude who squats like 600 pounds.
Yeah, it makes it pop.
So thank you, Big Chicken, for sending me your huddle tape.
Yes.
Shout out Big Chicken.
Shout out Big Chicken. Marietta, Georgia, the Big Chicken. They got
they do the
big KFC. That's a big. I knew a guy from there, and I think that's where Sean McVay's from.
Is that the biggest KFC?
It's just a big fucking chicken that they have on the side.
Oh,
of
it's
the
a
highway.
roadside attraction.
Yeah,
Stop
But
and get
it's
a
funny
picture.
because
That's all.
we
That's
talk
it. It's just
we
a
talk
big
about it
chicken.
like this. It's this podunk. Marietta, Georgia, is like suburban Atlanta. Because that's what the big boss man in WWF.
Yes.
He's a correctional officer from Cobb County, Georgia, which makes it sound like he's out in the country. Oh no, it's the most suburban of suburban.
Yeah. All right. Well, Andy, thank you as always. You are the best. Great to see you in person. Hopefully next time you come visit us, our new office will be open.
And hopefully you'll have like 70 extra pounds because you look too good.
Yeah, he does look too good.
Listen, I will count calories with anybody who wants to count calories. Me and Cole Kubelik's my calorie counting buddy now from the SEC network. My wife got me on it like 2 years ago, and
Andy
just put it in there
Andy
and it
tried
works.
to tell when I said I was losing weight. I don't know the 20 millionth time I said I was going to lose weight like 2 years ago. Andy texted me. He's like, all you got to do is you got to get your Apple Watch setting and you got to burn 1,500 calories a day. And I was like, okay, this will be easy. And then I went to the gym for like an hour and it was like, you've burned 350 calories.
You can't walk on the treadmill. You got to do
what is it, the 34-30?
That's so many calories you burn every day.
I don't burn that many every day, but I count all the ones I eat.
Okay.
And so what that does is it keeps you, like when you would just grab a bag of potato chips before.
Every day.
You never do that again.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is 300 calories that I will never, you think about how long that is on the treadmill.
Yeah. I was golfing with Big Cat the other day. Actually, the Ryder Cup video just came out today.
Beautiful.
And his watch went off on the second hole. It was like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It was like, congratulations, your exercise ring is closed.
It's like
at
all I
10
did was
a.m.
walk around.
That's what I had somebody text me about that because they were trying to get into it. And they're like, they send me their rings and their goal was 500 calories a day. And I'm like, dude, you just do that breathing.
Yeah.
You gotta move up a little bit.
On a Sunday, I don't even come close to that. All right. Well, Andy, thank you as always. And we'll definitely have you back on before the season's over.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Andy. Andy Staples is brought to you by Bushmills. Did you know that the Bushmills distillery is the world's oldest? It's the oldest whiskey distillery in the world. They came first. Bushmills Irish Whiskey. Bushmills earned a license to distill in 1608 from King James I. There were other licenses to distill whiskey that were granted around Ireland, but none of those distillers have survived. Only Bushmills has survived until today. Not only is it the oldest, but Bushmills has been making single malt whiskey longer than anyone. The best of both worlds Bushmills is a smooth, triple distilled Irish whiskey, but with the complexity of a single malt, which is why Bushmills is Ireland's most awarded single malt whiskey. You can chart your own course with Bushmills. We had some out on the golf course the other day. So tasty. It fueled Hank in my furious comeback during the silent scramble. Things didn't turn around for us until we had a little Bushmills in our body. Then boom, we're shooting lights out. Bushmills is awesome. It tastes so good. Bushmills, can you send me some Bushmills? I will drink it. I will drink Bushmills. I love it so much. Bushmills, the official whiskey of the PGA Tour. Bushmills, the official whiskey of the PGA Tour. And now, here's one question with a fullback with Andrew Beck.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. It is Houston Texans fullback Andrew Beck for one question with the fullback. So we're all going to ask a question, then you get a question. I'll start your kick return this weekend. So for people who missed it, Andrew Beck was technically in the last 50 years the heaviest guy. You're not fat, but the heaviest guy to return a kickoff for a touchdown. And he did it at 255 pounds, returned a kick against the Jaguars. So my question, though, is watching it, how surprised were you while returning it? And at what point were you like, holy shit, I'm going to the house? Because it looked like you were more shocked than anyone else.
I mean, as soon as it went up, I was excited. I was like, this is my ball 100%. Because I played with B-Mac in Denver before this. He's a kicker for Jacksonville. So before the game, I went to him, I was like, hey, man, don't try anything with like push kicks or anything like that. He's like, no, man, wouldn't kick it short to you this whole game, promise. Sure enough, like second or third one goes up. See it go up. I'm like, man, this is mine 100%. And it kept just carrying. And I was like, nah, we're not supposed to step back, but I've committed at this point. So I take like a couple steps back and I hear Mike like running towards me. And then right before he bumps into me, he's like, oh, me. I'm like, oh, there's nothing I can do about it now. Like I'm committed. I've stepped back to return the ball. So drop it. And he heard me say something that I'm not going to say to y'all, but my mother's going to watch this. She'd get mad if I said it on the radio, but pick it up. And as soon as I made those first three guys miss and turned the corner, I saw where everybody was because they had condensed it to try and make a play when I dropped the ball. I was like, I can get to this corner. I might be able to score. And as soon as I got over the first defender, I was like, oh, I'm getting to the house 100% because I knew I was going to get the corner on B-Mac. I have to outrun the kicker or I had to go back to the locker room right after that. There was no doubt. And then got down the sideline, felt like 1,000 yards later, crossed the goal line. I turned around and Brevin Jordan's another tight end. He's standing there. He's like, hey, man, you did it. Like, woo, let's go. And I just looked and I was like, are there any flags? He said, there are no flags. I started going crazy. It was a really, really cool feeling.
That's
really
awesome.
Cool.
That's great. What a cool story. My question was going to be, as a fullback, you probably don't have a touchdown celebration planned. So when you get into the end zone, what goes through your head? Did you think of a celebration to do in the moment, or have you gone back since then and be like, damn, you know what? I really wish I'd done the thing where like I pretend to unscrew the top of the football, chug it, spike it. Are you having second doubts about your celebration?
Man, how legendary would that have been? I got to text y'all beforehand. Y'all got to come up with celebrations and sell them to people.
Like stone cold the football, like chug a beer and
That'd be
slam it.
incredible. I wish. Man, I was so focused on trying to breathe because what people don't understand is I'm on the kickoff team too. So my first thought after I like hugged Brevin and started celebrating with guys is I'm about to have to run down and cover another kick, man. What am I going to do? And I went up to our special teams coordinator. He's celebrating. He's so excited. I couldn't even celebrate with him. I looked him dead in the eyes. I was like, Frankie, I don't know how I'm going to cover this kick, man. What are we going to do? He's like, I'll get you a blow for this one since you got the touchdown. But that was the only thought was going through my mind. I was like, no flags, go catch your breath because we still got like another basically half to play. And how the hell am I going to cover this kick?
That's
that was
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
I should have planned something, though, man. Unscrewing the top of the ball is tough. I got to do that next time.
You got to have one in your back pocket. Yeah.
All right, Jake.
Hey, Andrew, Jake Marsh, part of my Take podcast. My question is, if a running back runs and a wide receiver receives, why is a fullback called a fullback?
Ooh.
Wow. It's got to go back to the weight thing, right? Like halfback.
I wanted
fullback.
to Google it before this,
Like,
but I didn't want to spoil it for anyone.
I think it's because
So I don't
fullbacks,
know.
like,
is there a reason?
I think
I don't
There's
know.
an
I
actual
can look
reason
right
that you
now.
found?
because they got an ass on them.
That's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah, it's a fullback.
It's got to be the weight thing.
Yeah.
The running backs are about half of what I weigh.
Well,
evidently,
and
if
a
you
quarter.
ask
Well,
anyone
I
that
think it's
up.
because a fullback is lined up fully in the backfield. Halfback is lined up. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense because a quarterback.
No, I was gonna say
It's a
that,
quarterback and then a fullback and then a half. That makes no sense at all.
It's got to go back to like the old like wing T days or wishbone days or something like that. There's
Yeah.
definitely a real answer to that, 100%. I'm not the one to ask.
Yeah, this question doesn't count for one question to a fullback, but we do give a trophy out every year to the best college football fullback. It's called the Low Man Trophy. And so we've been doing that for the last 6 years. We would like it if you would be on the committee to nominate and vote on who the best fullback in the country is. Do you accept the honor?
100% would be my honor. Yes,
I love
please.
it.
Awesome.
I
All
love
right.
it.
The committee grows. And we'll get an answer for you on the,
committee grows.
on the
It's-
fullback
yeah, it says
question,
a
too.
fullback in football gets named because it's behind or back of the quarterback.
But the
That
halfback,
still
Yeah, I
doesn't
know,
make
that
sense.
doesn't make
That's the only
sense.
explanation I see.
Yeah. Okay.
Taylor Swift fans
We're
are
going
going
to
to
come
have a
up
field
with a
day with
better
us.
one than that.
Max.
Hi, Max, producer, part of my take here. There's a play that's circulating the NFL right now that is garnering a lot of controversy. It's called the Tush push. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. People are really upset about it and want it outlawed, and I want to know why those people are wrong.
So it's got to be about like the QB sneak stuff, right?
Right,
Yes.
right.
Push.
Yes.
Obviously, I read that from the Eagles and stuff like that. I mean, we did it in the game last against Jacksonville. I come back and I pushed CJ, and
That's
it
a
looks
strength.
great on paper until we opened up a hole, and CJ almost got assassinated by the linebacker because you can't get to the second level to block. So I pushed him right into the linebacker. I mean, I don't know if it's the best. Like, it looks great on paper until you run it. And even CJ was like, man, that sucked when he popped up. I was like, you got the first down, dude. Doesn't even matter. But, dude, no, I'm here for it. You know what? It's such a cool play to watch. It's like a major rugby vibes, like the scrum and everything like that. It's like old school gladiator style, man. They should do it every play.
Yeah,
I agree.
3 or 4 yards carry.
I think they could get down the field.
The entire way down the field.
I think they could.
I like
If they ran it from the 25, they could average 2.5 yards per carry and just bleed the
That's all
clock,
you
going
need.
like a 12-minute drive. It'd be
Yeah.
sick.
Time of possession would be insane.
It
Other
was.
team can't win if they don't touch the ball.
Yeah, it's like Army football.
Yeah. So our other producer, Hank, isn't here yet. So I'm going to ask Hank's question for him. He sent me this question before the interview. So you were on the Patriots in 2019 for a cup of coffee, right? You were there for a little bit. Hank wanted to know how awesome the old Lighthouse was at Gillette Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to see the old Lighthouse that looked over the field?
I mean, I don't know. I was so busy trying not to mess up anything back there. Like, the whole building, the tension's so high. I don't even think I ever looked up.
Sounds like it was
So, like,
forgettable.
It was a lighthouse.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell people the same thing. Like, when they ask about how your time there was, like, I probably learned more about football and like playing the game in the 15 minutes I was there than I had in years leading up to that, just because the intensity and the demand they have on their guys. And I mean, little did I know it's just kind of an NFL thing. Like, we got here, and it's the same way y'all were mentioning earlier, like how D'Amico is and how intense of a guy he is. It's the same thing with him. It was the same for my, time in Denver, however that went. But I guess getting back to the Lighthouse, man. No, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was forgettable. That's
It was
what
a
I-
forgettable
That's what I'm here
Lighthouse.
to. You were also
Yeah.
in a tough
Google it after
situation
this.
because they brought you in. You were filling in for. It was like right after Devlin left too, and that dude was a fucking tank at fullback.
Dude, so we overlapped a little bit. Like, I was there with him he got hurt that season, like, that I was there leading into. So I got to learn a little bit from him, man. One of the best dudes I've ever met. Such a great dude and an absolute unit at fullback.
Yeah.
Like, our last preseason, there were 3 fullbacks on the roster that preseason. It was me, Yak, who's I think he's still in Vegas with the Raiders, or was last year, and Jimmy D. And Jimmy D wore the neck roll, obviously.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
like his trademark thing. And none of us did. But for the last preseason game, if you look, he did. So all 3 of us did. It was actually pretty cool, man. But it was like the only game that I ever did. That was the coolest thing, dude. It's damn near a cheat code.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love your neck roll.
Yeah, snap back, man. It was great. I loved it.
The neck
full speed
rolls.
run through people with that thing on.
Cowboy collars, the old school face mask. I love
The big
everything about the
pads,
fullback position.
like,
Yeah.
all stats pads.
Oh, yeah.
So all right, so that's a good answer. The Lighthouse was completely forgettable, almost like it wasn't there. Which is like the opposite of what a lighthouse is supposed to do.
Yeah, a
It's
lighthouse.
supposed to let you know exactly where it is.
Well, Belichick hates look at me guys, and that's
Right.
what a lighthouse by definition
Right,
is.
right. All right. So, do you have a question for us?
Yeah, man, but I don't know if y'all are going to answer.
Okay.
So, of all of the active NFL players that you've had on, like, I saw you had Hoyer the Destroyer a little bit ago. most disappointing interview you've had?
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that's actually
That was
pretty
easy.
That's pretty easy. Yeah,
Money. Let's go.
no doubt
Let's
about it.
go.
Not even a question.
That was so easy.
You didn't even have to say like active NFL players.
Well, it
You
might have
could
been
say,
Dan Marino.
What's the yeah?
If it was just players.
If it starts with DA, we don't want him on the show. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Wait, did you
That's
just say
awesome. What was it?
Hoyer the Destroyer?
Oh yeah, man. The towels.
That's what you call him, Hoyer the
Wait,
Destroyer?
the towels?
You don't see the towels that he had when he was in. It was when he was like first drafted, right? He had all those Hoyer the Destroyer towels that used to spin around. I didn't know that was a thing until when I was in New England. Somebody kept putting him on his spot in the meeting rooms. They had hundreds of them, and every day would just put a Hoyer the Destroyer towel. He's finally like, who the fuck is doing this? And I don't know if they ever found out. I don't know if it was a equipment guy or something like that. It might have been Stidham because it was Stidham's rookie year too. But yeah, man.
Oh my God, I'm looking right now. Yeah.
We got to start calling him Hoyer the Destroyer.
Hoyer the Destroyer.
And his real name's Axel. He's way cooler than he lets on.
Hoyer the Destroyer.
He's a good. I don't know if he'd remember that we were there at the same time. He's a little bit further along in his career than I was at the time, but yeah, man, he's a good guy to be around.
Has that? Well, I can't ask another question, but I'll just pose it out there. Like,
You can ask me.
oh yeah, like, do you ever? Is it ever weird, like seeing a guy that you played on the same team with, and you have to like reintroduce yourself?
That's a good question. I was thinking about that. I don't know if anybody else in the room has an example of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the worst, or it's almost as bad as like when you walk up to him and you're like, he's definitely gonna remember me. We played together for a while, and you're like, hey, great man, good to see you. And he's like, huh? You just get that blank face, like that. He looks at you like I'm supposed to know you from somewhere face. He just gives you the generic answer, like, yeah, man, good luck the rest of this year. You're like, oh man, he didn't have a clue who I am. That's tough.
Big Cat, what about like hypothetically, if you were on an NFL team and you switched teams a couple times, like would it take a while for you to relearn brand new handshakes with every team that you go to? Because you build up these handshakes that you invent with your teammates. You're like, fuck, I can't use those handshakes anymore. I got to learn new ones.
Well, Andrew, you were just telling me about that, right?
100%. Yeah. No, I'm a big handshake guy.
Yeah.
So everywhere you go, having to make them new handshakes. Sure, that's a pain.
Yeah.
No, dude, I delegate at this point. Someone's like, man, we got to get a handshake. Like DP, our running back here, is like, man, we got to get a handshake. I was like, man, you're definitely the guy to come up with it too. Let's go. I want to see what you got.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Smart.
I love it. All right.
Good
Well,
answer.
Andrew, thank you, man. We really appreciate it. We got to come. Maybe we were just talking to the PR guy. Come down to Houston. We've actually been talking about maybe Grit Week next year, doing a little Texas. So maybe get you back on the show. And you now are part of the Low Man Trophy committee. So
congratulations.
That's a huge honor.
honor.
Yes.
Unbelievable honor. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank y'all for having me. I'm excited for the committee too. Let's go.
Yeah, the trophy is
Fullbacks making a comeback, man.
They are. They truly are. The trophy is literally just a tire. And sometimes we nail a beer can to it. It's the grittiest trophy in sports.
That is a necessity.
Yeah,
I'm denying the committee if we don't add the beer can as a permanent attachment to the trophy.
I like it. Like it. All right, man. Thanks so much. And run some more kicks back.
Yeah.
I want to see more.
Bring back the fullback position.
Yeah.
Do some dives. Old school, hat on a hat.
Appreciate
smash,
you
smash.
guys.
All right.
All right. Thanks, man.
Good to see you, man.
ya.
Appreciate y'all.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. We have Jimbos. Today's Jimbos are brought to you by the one and only Snickers, the most satisfying solution for all those rookie mistake moments. Packed with chocolate, caramel, peanuts, and nougat, Snickers is the go-to play when life throws blitzes your way. Rookie mistake, maybe you just need Snickers. Learn more at snickers.com/NFL. The Snickers ice cream bars are elite. Jimbos, thank you to Snickers. Okay, Hank, Jimbos.
Hey, PMT. So I work for the Cincinnati Reds, and as we were shutting down the stadium after the last game of the year, there was a woman crouching down by a fence that needed to get moved.
Okay.
I walked up to her and said, "Excuse me, ma'am.
I need to move you."
And as I said it, they turned around, and it was a dude.
Oh.
The long hair and jeans completely threw me off. Do not recommend.
This is
Very
PFT's
awkward. Kind of looked like
territory.
PFT,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
What was that last part?
Kind of looked like PFT, to be honest.
Okay, well, it sounds like a handsome guy. I would say that, yeah, it happens, and you can't let it affect you if you have long hair. It's probably been, 8 months. I get it like twice a year. I'll be at a restaurant. Someone will come up behind me. What can I get you, ladies? Or, excuse me, ma'am, would you like another drink?
I've never gotten it.
Yeah, well, no offense, Max, but woof.
Never gotten it.
Woof. Because you probably...
You get more like, hey, what's up, miss? What position do you play on the softball field? Catcher?
I don't know if you just heard me. I said I've never gotten it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you get that instead.
No. I mean,
Also-
that would be the same thing.
Spin zone PFT, I think part of why you get it is you got a good ass.
I do have a good ass.
Right.
There was one time I was in South Carolina. I was at a grocery store.
Oh, no.
What?
Hank just too small, Joe.
Okay, that's very funny.
You also don't have a beard.
I don't have a beard to speak of.
Okay. Let's say, come on, let's back off my boy.
Hank's mad.
Back off my boy.
Hank's mad. Again, this is like when Big Cat got upset about Sam Howell. I'm not going to take anything Hank says personally today because he's mad about his Lighthouse. His Lighthouse is like your Justin Fields. That's how much he loves this fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, no, not anymore.
Well, I hope he comes to reality about it soon. But I was in a grocery store one time in South Carolina, and I was in like the deli section, and I was I was bending over to get something out of the frozen thing that was in the middle. And then I turned around, and the deli guy behind the counter was just looking at my ass. And then I looked at him, and he looked at me. He was like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "I was like, you were just looking at my ass, weren't you?"
I love
and
it.
he's like, "No, I wasn't." I was like, "It's okay. I got a good dump." He's like, "No, I swear to God, I wasn't." But he was so embarrassed. But yeah, it happens occasionally. Listen,
Just don't let it bother
It
you.
comes with the territory. I'm secure in my sexuality. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all. It's never happened to me from the front. I'll say that.
Facts.
Yep.
Except when you dress up like a woman like 4 times in 1 month.
No, it was like 3 times in 4 years.
No, there was a stretch.
I got asked to be a bridesmaid at Dana Beer's wedding. What am I gonna say? No Dana Beers?
All right, Hank.
My girlfriend asked me to take the garbage out before work. I threw the garbage in my trunk because I was too lazy to carry it all the way to the dumpster. 2 days later, I had no idea why my car was smelling like straight landfill until I opened my trunk and found the garbage still sitting there. I'd put the garbage in the trunk and somehow just drove to work and forgot to drop it off at the dumpster. I had to remove my trunk carpet and soak it in soapy water. Still smells like shit.
People probably thought you committed a murder. This is such a relatable move. Like the moving of boxes or garbage. I like gradually get there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'll get it to the door. I'll get it to the garage. I'll get it to or the other move that guys do. I think everyone here does it. Like when you have something in your car and maybe it's in your back seat and you're just like, I'll just get it later.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what? Why wouldn't I just get it now?
It's the very definition of out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Like you took the garbage and you put it away, just not in the right place, but it was gone. Like sometimes us as guys, we don't have, object permanence, where if you don't see something, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's the mindset with trash.
My
don't
golf
see it.
clubs have been in my car since we last golfed. There's no reason for them to be in there right now.
No.
I just don't want to take them out.
Yeah.
Because then it's like one extra thing I have to do.
Hey, PMT boys. This is even more relatable, but even worse. I was using my parents' shower the other day, and I broke the shower head off and put it back up with electrical tape.
Oh.
They don't know that it broke. What should I do if they eventually find out? I'm also just living in constant fear that it'll fall off again while they're using it. Yeah, I mean, they're going to find out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just don't say anything. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some guy came in and was working in the bathroom.
A guy broke into the house and took a shower.
And the guy broke into the house, broke the shower, and fixed it.
Isn't this the plot of the Cat in the Hat?
This is just don't worry about this one.
Yeah. I mean, nobody uses those shower handles anyways.
Yeah,
That's the bigger question is why we're using the handle.
Yeah. This is also back to the out of sight, out of mind. This is a future you problem.
Yeah.
Don't stress.
Yeah.
All right. Last one.
That was it.
That was it.
Or
Great
you know what
show,
you can
boys.
do? You can go take another shower, pretend to slip, grab the handle, and then go out. Be like,
Yeah.
I almost fell on my head, but good thing that shower handle was there. I reached out, grabbed it. I'm sorry that it's broken, but the alternative was I cracked my head open in your bathroom.
I've broken probably every single towel rack that I've ever had in my life. That I don't know if you guys have that happen.
I've broken a couple.
Just a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
You're just stuffing the towel in. I never do the fold. Every guy does the stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff is a terrible move.
That's why I've moved on to hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooks are so much
I have
easier.
hooks now, but I've definitely had a lot of towel racks.
I broke a toilet one time in a bathroom, and it was like the mom of a friend. And I went over, I took a crap, and I sat down too hard on it. The entire back of the toilet shattered in half. The toilet flooded the bathroom with water. It started dripping through the basement ceiling. I had no explanation for why.
But spin zone, that is kind of how like a porno could start.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, hey, you need some help with these pipes?
Yeah.
All right, numbers.
3.
1.
69.
20.
18.
Memes, ever gotten it?
Nope.
Okay.
2.
38. 38. 38. By the way, everyone, we're on schedule. The soundproof doors have been delivered to the have shipped to the new office. We are on schedule. The countdown begins. I think we are, after this week, we are 3 weeks away from our new digs, our permanent home. I couldn't be more excited. So thank you to everyone who's just dealt with whatever this visual is. And the Flushing, there it is. And the Flushing pipes.
And the small, very, very unrealistic camera perspective where I look short.
Did you say love you guys?
Huh?
Did you say love you guys?
Love you guys.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, it was very close.